beautiful show on remote opening day. And that's where we start tonight with the Red Sox, who win on opening day in Texas in, exciting fashion. So we'll certainly start there tonight. We do have some Patriot stuff. Mike Vrabel spoke. I have some more thoughts on the ever fading away Boston Bruins. Tommy from Lynn's here, everybody, wearing his Bruins jersey. So that's why it popped right in my head. And March Madness about to tip off. I do have picks for tonight, and I know that one is getting going in just a little bit. So if we can get in on it, I will tell you my picks throughout the night tonight. The phone number is 617-779-0985. I'm going to be joined here by Steve Buchanan tonight. He's of DraftKings. He's one of the best cappers and analysts, with analysis in the business when it comes to baseball. We'll have him here today. We already have a platter of just delicious appetizers and entrees. Street Team Joe is already gone to work. John's helping out as well. I got Tyler alongside. We are just having a blast here at Sylvan Street Grill in Peabody. Come on down and visit. So the opening take brought to you by ESPN Bet Sportsbook. Opening take brought to you by ESPN Bet Sportsbook. So it's finally here. The start of baseball season. Of course, the Red Sox, huge expectations this year. And Garrett Crochet on the mound versus a familiar face in Nathan Eovaldi. And I'll just say this. I always knew that Garrett Crochet was a big guy. But holy smokes, the size of that man on the mound last night. This morning, because it just happened this afternoon. He's mammoth. Garrett Crochet's a big boy. That's a big man. Who wants an extension? Whew. Now, I get it. He could have a big year. He could make a lot of money in the offseason betting on himself. And from everything that I've heard, Garrett Crochet, and it's his family's decision, him and his family, not to sign an extension, and the Red Sox are interested in doing so. So before we get on the Red Sox don't pay guys, no. This was a Crochet decision. The team, even Breslow said it today. Before the game, they're not going to come together, and he wants to table everything till at least at the beginning of the year. But, man, that's a big boy out there. Speaking of big boys, we'll get into Rafael Devers Day as well, which smelly. We'll get into all that. But it's finally here, opening day. Garrett Crochet on the mound. He was huge. Nice little pitching matchup, as I mentioned. The anticipation of baseball. I wanted baseball all day long today. I was kicking around. Where's the early game? What do we have for an early game? And then at 4 o'clock, they dump a bunch of games, and then there'll be other games going up against the Sweet 16, by the way. MLB TV crapped the bed for everybody. People are excited about baseball season, especially here locally, yet baseball still can't seem to get it right. Baseball in this town, it's so funny. I'm here at the bar. Jerry, the bartender's wearing a Jared Saltalamacchia jersey. Every jersey that's in here is someone that played potentially 20 years ago, 10 years ago, 15 years ago. I don't see any of the local jerseys. None of them. Yet we could find it on Nesson. We knew when it was on Fox. You knew when it was Sunday Night Baseball. It was incredibly hard to find baseball on opening day, and there was anticipation for it. Listen, I love memorabilia and sports cards. I do a ton with that on the side. People love baseball. It was really hard to find today, and I feel like MLB still can't get it right. But you know what the positive of today was? The Red Sox. The Red Sox were the positive today. They put on a good product on the field. They had a starting pitcher. Their bullpen looked good. Their young hitters came through. The guy that was up for one of the rookies of the year last year who won a Gold Glove had a huge hit. They closed the door. They won on the road. The Red Sox are exciting. It's now back-to-back years the Red Sox have won on the road on opening day. If you're a Red Sox fan, you should absolutely be excited. Now, I'm joking when I say 162-0, but this start of the season for the Red Sox, it's a gauntlet. They're going to play 30 games in 32 days. They need to get out to a fast start, and if they do, the second half is very favorable. Today was a really key win. And we'll get into the specifics of it here on the other side. But overall, of course, this one just got thrown my way via Skaz on Slack. The Red Sox now have more wins than the Bruins since March 12th. I just wanted to throw that out there for everybody at the bar tonight. Red Sox 1-0. Although MLB couldn't get it together with their packages today, the package of the Boston Red Sox in 2025 came through with a big win, and we'll certainly break it all down here on 98.5 The Sports Hub, 617-779-0985. We're also on YouTube. I can already see the people in there now. But yeah, I'll get to the spread in a little bit. I already posted a photo of Street Team Joe going over the menu here, but we got tater skins, fries, buffalo dip, buffalo egg rolls, steak and cheese egg rolls, sliders. Oh, you didn't get enough food. All right. Well, we'll stoke this bad boy up. We'll load up the phone lines for you. The Red Sox win. We'll get your reaction, and we'll talk about the day that was for the Boston Red Sox. I'm Joe Murray, live from the Sylvan Street Grill in Peabody. You're listening to 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Don't go anywhere. There's more Joe Murray. On the way.
slider. Oh, you're throwing a bunch of them, Jackson. I can see you from the dugout, from the on-deck circle, and he just laid into this one. This was a rocket.
Holy cow. His second home run of the day for a guy who barely played in spring training. And he's the star today as the Red Sox lead it 5-2 in the night.
Oh, what an opening day for Wilyer. Father of two new twins just, a week, 10 days ago? He just sits on this slider. He knew the minute he hit it.
All right, back here, 98.5, the Sports Hub. I'm Joe Murray. Wow, what a day for Wilyer Abreu and the Red Sox. Red Sox get the 5-2 win in Texas on opening day. They start the year 1-0, and, well, the story of the day, no doubt about it, Wilyer Abreu. 3 hits, 4 RBI, had 2 home runs in the game, also had a walk earlier in this one, but, man, off Nathan Eovaldi in the 5th, and then in the 9th inning, no doubt about it, 2-run homer to put this thing away. So a 2-run homer or a 3-run homer? Whatever, 3-run homer to put things away. I'll tell you, thinking about him, and you just heard it in the highlight there from Lou Merlone, Wilyer Abreu is one of these guys that got sick and had to step away from the team for a bit. His wife was having kids. There was a lot going on for him. It was a tough time for him, and I'm sure that, he's coming off this really good rookie season and a Gold Glove. All we have been talking about, and I'm guilty of this one. I'm happy for Wilyer Abreu today for one reason why. I have talked up Ceddanne Rafaela. I've talked up the Big Three and Christian Campbell and, guys who are going to take the next step. I left out the possibility of Wilyer Abreu being that guy. And today, Wilyer Abreu is that guy. Huge. What's who we're talking about? I thought we'd be talking about Alex Bregman or Rafael Devers or Garrett Crochet's day. Nope. We're talking about Wilyer Abreu, who took the day. Big spots today. Tied the game and then go ahead 3-run homer with the tie game. Just thinking about it out loud, he wasn't one of the guys I chalked up as making an impact. He wasn't one of the guys that I thought early on in the year would make an impact based off how little he played in spring training or how long he was even with the team. Kudos to Wilyer Abreu, who not only is an excellent outfielder and certainly, Gold Glove winner, but maybe he's now taking the next step. Maybe he's feeling better. He's peaking now. Great to see from Wilyer Abreu today. I got a lot of thoughts on the Red Sox, and I do want to open up the phone lines to you at 617-779-0985. Skaz is back there. I'm going to bother you, Skaz, for a minute here. Where did last night we did a social for how you would rank all the free agents for the Patriots. I guess, where did Wilyer Abreu rank for you today as being maybe one of the big-time heroes today for the Red Sox?
Yeah, a great day for the Sox, a great day for Wilyer Abreu. I was kind of surprised when the lineup came out today that he was batting 7th behind Campbell. I think Campbell was 6th, so that kind of surprised me. But a really good day for Alex Cora. I thought, Cora's a guy that's gotten a lot of criticism over, the defense the last couple of years, how invested the team has been late in the season. And I think he pulled all the right strings today. You could even say that Eovaldi outpitched Crochet, and the Sox still come away with a win in this one. So I would say a very positive opening day for the Sox.
Yeah, I had him maybe you did send to me earlier. Wow, Campbell batting 6th. And, just speaking on Campbell for a second, did he have the first game jitters? I'd say yeah. Defensively is where I saw it. He was overmatched in the plate early on, but it was kind of funny. On my way in, I was listening to the baseball hour, and I agreed. I agreed with everything Tony was saying. I agreed with everything what Jimmy was saying regarding Campbell. Like, welcome to the big leagues, bro. 99, 95. Oh, there's the little slurve. I think he struggled, but Nice single to keep things going later in the game. They pinch ran for him. It all worked out. So, when I ask you, like, hey, when you're ranking where guys, who would make an impact on opening day, well, I didn't have Christian Campbell on the list. I didn't have Wilyer Abreu on the list. I did not have Garrett Whitlock on the list today. His 2 innings, 1 hit, 1 strikeout, 23 pitches after Garrett Crochet's 5 innings, 5 hits, 2 earned, 4 strikeouts, 88 pitches. So, yeah, maybe Nathan Eovaldi did outpitch Crochet. I'll take that every night, though, from Crochet. Would I want more innings? Yeah. Do I think he can go further? I think they wanted to pull him after 88. I think Eovaldi at 87. So, right on. But as far as where I had guys making an impact today, it wasn't Whitlock. It was not Wilyer Abreu by any means, and even Campbell I didn't have expectations for. And Chapman came in. He gave up a hit, had a strikeout, held the door. He gets the win tonight. Justin Slayton, he closes the door for the Red Sox. His first save of the year, first win of the year for the Sox. And I will line them up for you at 617-779-0985. I'm still trying to work through my call log over here. Skaz, if you do we have anybody? Okay, good. No worries. I just wanted to just include the people if we did. Just getting back to everything today in Garrett Crochet's day. I mentioned how big I thought he was. That's what really stood out to me, but he's got the stuff, man. Some concerns for me watching him. I don't want to say there was control issues. I won't say that. The guy threw 61 strikes today. But I still think there's some development for him. The 4 strikeouts, I'm fine with. 4 strikeouts, 5 innings, fine. If you get a pitching performance like Crochet today, this team's going to succeed. So overall, was impressed with Crochet. More of his size. When I keep throwing his size in there because, long-term deals, pitchers, he's young enough. That's what I mean. He's young enough where you don't worry about the size. Out. Size matters on the night show. When it comes to a future contract for Crochet, in. I know it's just been 1 game. 5 innings. In on the guy. I think having him at the front of the rotation makes this team, no doubt about it, a contender. Now, where I won't go is I know that MLB.com, a lot of other outlets, have the Red Sox as winning the AL East and winning the American League and even winning the World Series. I'm not going that far. I don't know if they have the front-end talent to do so. I don't think they do. But a guy like Crochet at the front, they hit on it. They had to give up a big piece in Teal to get it done. But when you want to be a competitive baseball team and compete for October, you need guys like Crochet at the front. Now, was I really impressed with the Whitlock, Chapman, Slayton? Absolutely. But this is a different era of baseball, as we all know. And, guys are only going to go 5 innings. Some guys are only going to see the lineup twice. The only real criticisms I'll give of Crochet today is I do wish he went a little bit longer. That's on Cora, who, by the way, had an excellent day. But they got something at the front of their rotation here, and I'm getting ahead of myself a little bit, but you add another guy to that, they're legit postseason contenders. 617-779-0985. I wanted to mention Alex Cora's day. Man, he pulled all the right strings. I questioned him, and what I mean by question, in 2018, that team was loaded. They were ready to win a championship. They had veterans all over. He was a great manager that year, don't get me wrong. But the guys that he had on the team, it's pretty easy to manage those guys. I think now it's with all the younger players, with some of the moves that happen. I mean, look, Liam Hendricks goes down just before everything started today. They have to rearrange. They have to start making adjustments now to the bullpen, etc. Cora's got a lot on his plate, but I think this is what he's asked for. Cora wanted a team that he could manage with actual players instead of what he's been dealing with over the last couple of years. Cora pulled the right strings today. Now, I did wonder about having a lefty on the bench. Could have hurt them at some point. Whether it was Rafaela coming to the plate, we already know that it was Hamilton who came in after. He pushed the right buttons, pulled the right strings, went to the right guys, went to Chapman there in the 8th, and went right to Slayton in the 9th. It's hard for me to be really critical of anything that Alex Cora did today. And if, Skaz, you got something on that, we can on the other side. I just wanted to one more while we're at it. Rafael Devers was the designated hitter today. The first 3 at-bats, he struck out. Did he get a golden sombrero? I didn't see his last at-bat by any means because I was traveling in today. But not a great day for Rafael Devers by any means. And the 3 strikeouts, I wondered where his head was at. I have PTSD from Manny Ramirez. Here I am dating myself again, back to almost 20 years of baseball. But Manny was unhappy one day and saw 3 straight balls down the plate. 1, 2, 3, bing, bang, boom, and he was upset. I'm not saying that that's what Rafael Devers did today, but it was just very, very smelly, if you ask me. We'll leave it there at 617-779-0985. We're also on YouTube as well. We're going to say what's up to our YouTube chat as well. I wanted to bring Skaz in on the other side. We'll get more on Devers Day and the young players who came through for the Red Sox. And we'll certainly get into some Celtics stuff. I know Mike Vrabel spoke as well. And the Sweet 16 is ongoing. I took Alabama for those that care. We will take a look at the Sports Hub headlines right now. I'm Joe Murray. You're listening to 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Sports Hub head.
right, back here at 98.5 The Sports Hub. I'm Joe Murray, live from the Sylvan Street Grill in Peabody. It is bumping in here right now. A couple of seats open near us. Ooh, look at those fajitas. Ooh, see those things smoking. I haven't seen fajitas like that in a long time. Ooh, you smell that? Man, those things were flying through here. What were we talking about? Oh, the Red Sox. Garrett Crochet, everybody. That was him. Big boy after the game's got to trust his team. Again, I liked what I saw from Crochet. I'm trying to nitpick. I'm trying to give some analysis on, what he could improve on. Here's what I'll give you. If I'm a hitter and I'm watching Crochet, I'm thinking two pitches. Fastball and some sort of cutter or something. Two fastballs. That's all I'm thinking. He doesn't have a lot of changeup. His sinker, you don't see much of. So that is something I'd like to see a little bit more. But yet, he's so big, he's so dominant, he is explosive that, I've used the term before. Give him the gas, not the ass. With Crochet, he's got a lot of gas and a lot of ass. But I think he needs a little molasses. He needs to find some sort of change-up, off-speed pitch. I think he can throw a sinker. I think he can. I didn't see it much. I probably saw 14, maybe 10 to 12 off-speed pitches watching him tonight. And maybe I'll have to look it up. Just the stuff that I watched, it was gas, some sort of like two-seamer, cutter, something to that degree, fastball. And then he has a little slurve. I think it's a slider. I'd like to think he has a changeup. I would like to think so. So if I'm being critical and you're a hitter, I think you're sitting fastball. So maybe he doesn't have great control with his off-speed stuff. But for the most part, I thought he was explosive, exciting, and good to see from him. Skaz, I'll bring you in. What'd you think of Garrett Crochet's day today, bud?
Yeah, I think he said it in that clip that he was kind of, trying to do a little too much the first couple innings. Like he was, over 40 pitches through 2 innings, settled down after that. You could definitely see the stuff's there. It's going to be a health, not a health thing, but just can his arm go a full season? That's still the biggest question mark with Crochet, but the stuff, the profile, I mean, you look at him out there and he looks like the ace they've needed for years now. So he definitely, has all the intangibles, but can he, keep it together for a full season? We'll see. I was impressed with Crochet today. The stuff was very good. I thought Cora made the right decision, when he took him out. I know he wasn't, he didn't have a ton of pitches, but it's the first game of the season. Let's not go crazy. Yeah. No need to overthink it. I thought Crochet was fine today. 5 innings, 4 Ks. You're probably expecting a little more than that going forward. But for opening days, I had no issues with Crochet today.
Let me give you an overthink, guys. Do you think he was trying to use his off-speed stuff a little too much where when he comes out of the bullpen, he can throw the gas? So, I think he had a little bit. I don't want to say his command was, I guess his command was a little off at times, which is why his pitch count rose, right? So he had 47 pitches through 2 innings. I just think he's trying to use a little bit of too much off-speed stuff to stay keep hitters guessing. That's probably where I'd be critical, where it's different coming out of the bullpen to becoming a starter and now being a long-term starter.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that they're going to have to work on with him. I know you mentioned the contract. So, this is a year where Crochet needs to, show his value, show his worth. There's a lot on the line for him, in terms of money going forward for him and the Red Sox, if they've truly found their ace. So I would say today was a step in the right direction, though. I wasn't expecting, 7 innings, 12 strikeouts from Crochet today or anything like that. But a positive day for the Boston Red Sox.
How about Devers?
Yeah, not a positive day for Rafael Devers. 3 really uncompetitive at-bats that ended in strikeouts, and then I think he had, a weak grounder or something. He swung at a bad pitch. 0 for 4, and that's, and we're allowed to cross sports at night here, but it's reminiscent of Jeremy Swayman a little bit, where, a lot of off-season turmoil and discussions of, obviously different with Swayman where it was contract related, but guys that missed camp, guys that were away from the team, and you see the struggles. You see how that impacts them, when the regular season rolls around. So a very tough day for Rafael Devers, but it's one game. The Red Sox, if they're going to be a playoff team, a team that goes deep into October, they need Rafael Devers to be at his peak. So I would not be hitting the panic button on Devers quite yet.
So you didn't think it was smelly?
I mean, of course, it's a little smelly. Anytime you're paying a guy $300 million and he's, potentially out of shape and not invested and ready to go for the regular season, that's a massive red flag. But it's, I'm willing to give Devers the benefit of the doubt through one game.
Okay. That's smelly. Smelly. I'll tell you, though, those fajitas, dude, you should have seen them. They popped right out. They were smoking through the whole entire restaurant. One more. And Steve Buchanan's going to join us live here at the Sylvan Street Grill in Peabody coming up in a little bit here. We'll get a ton of baseball stuff from him. But what'd you think of Alex Cora's day today?
Yeah, I mentioned it a little bit earlier, but I thought a really good day for Alex Cora. Chapman in the 8th, Slayton in the 9th. I thought both of them looked really, really good. Slayton's a guy that people are hyping up, the Millikins of the world. And, after one game, it seems, rightfully so. He looked really good. Chapman was under control, especially for Chapman standards, pulling Crochet in the 5th. The Hamilton coming in for Campbell didn't really come into play. But, I thought Alex Cora pushed a lot of the right buttons today.
All right, dude. Well, we'll be hearing from Skaz all night. It's going to be giving us some headlines as well, so we'll get that at the top of the hour coming up in just a little bit. Mentioned Crochet's day. We kind of hit on the big things, but Wilyer Abreu, what a day from him today. Gold Glove outfielder who, I didn't think of it like this, but could he be the rookie that takes the next step for the Boston Red Sox? We keep talking about these other guys, Ceddanne Rafaela and Campbell getting a start, and Marcelo Meyer, and just these young play, Roman Anthony. But could Wilyer Abreu take that next step? It'd be great to see. And just one more thing, Liam Hendricks got hurt before the game, but he said something before training camp ended, and he said that no doubt about it, Chapman's won the job. Paraphrasing. He won the job. We know who won the job. But seeing Chapman come in the game and, he gave up a hit, got a strikeout. Good. I mean, he did his job, right? And then seeing Justin Slayton close the door with Corey Seager due up to lead off the 8th core. Well, he went to Chapman for the tie. Had a scoreless frame, and then Slayton comes in with a 3-run lead. Bing, bang, bing, bam, boom. That was my Kendrick Lamar impersonation, but 1, 2, 3 in the 9th. Struck out 1. Slayton at the back of the bullpen looked pretty good to me. I think they got multiple options back there. I'm not saying committee. I've seen that before. I have seen closer by committee out. But I kind of like seeing Slayton back there. Kind of liked it. But there were some big boys on the mound today. Crochet, Chapman. There's some big boys on that team. Also, Alex Bregman, we should mention, 0 for 3 with a strikeout. Did hit like a nice little line drive to center for an out. I think it was the 4th inning. He made some nice plays in the field. He did have a chance to drive in the go-ahead run in the 8th inning with Jaron Duran on 3rd, but Chris Martin got him to line out in that one. So the two teams meet again tomorrow. Second game of a 4-game series. Tanner Houck, All-Star. Put respect on the name, All-Star Tanner Houck. We'll get the ball for the Red Sox against Jack Leiter. First pitch. We got a night game tomorrow night, so we'll be here tomorrow, full show with a little bit of Red Sox at 8 o'clock. So we'll, if you guys want to jump in on the Sox, you certainly can at 617-779-0985. I can just feel the excitement from our crowd about the Red Sox win and our listeners. I'm reading our chat right now, and everybody is just Bregman looks cooked. Oh, Devers, look, his swings were horrible. They're even throwing Swayman sucks in there, and he didn't even do anything tonight. But so you can join us on our chat as well. YouTube.com/985 the Sports Hub. Hey, you know who else is good in town? It's the Celtics. They won last night, and they did it without Jason Tatum. And you know what? We should start calling the Celtics the Road Warriors. Ooh, what a rush. We'll get into the green coming up here on the other side. I'm Joe Murray. You're listening to 98.5 The Sports Hub.
More Joe Murray coming up on the Sports Hub.
Miss a three. Rebound grab by Torrey Craig. The final seconds will tick off the clock. And the greatest road show in NBA history, 3.5 years of it, continues with another bludgeoning on the road. The final score, Boston 132, Phoenix 102. The Celtics have won 7 in a row, and for the first time in 40 years, they've won 14 of 15 on the road.
The Road Warriors. I should just throw the Red Sox in there, too, winning on the road tonight. As Road Warriors, as well as the Celtics. We're going to do a ton of baseball coming up. Steve Buchanan's going to join us here from DraftKings. We're live at Sylvan Street Grill in Peabody. Eat, drink, and chill at the Sylvan Street Grill. I will just tell you real quick before we get into the Celtics. I have had, so far, tater skins, French fries, buffalo fingers, garlic palm wings, buffalo egg rolls, steak and cheese, egg rolls, macaroni balls. Am I missing anything? Oh, buffalo dip and chips and an Arnold Palmer. So that's just, the start. Those are just the appetizers. Who else knows what we'll have for the rest of the night tonight? And maybe you could watch me eat on YouTube if you really want to. Well, the Celtics winners, and thankfully, Jason Tatum didn't play. They had to beg him not to play last night. But this is where I'm going with it when it comes to the green. They've won 14 of their last 15 games on the road. They haven't done that in 60 years. Think about that. 14 of 15 on the road. Most teams struggle on the road away from home. It's just like a normal, especially in college sports, like whenever I bet on college teams, that first road game, fade. Always fade. But the Celtics are the Road Warriors right now. That's what they are. And they have one more game to go. They played without Jason Tatum last night, which, thank you. Please, put the man in bubble wrap. But I did have a number I wanted to just share with everybody. Because I heard today. Oh, Skaz, wait till you hear this one. Do the Celtics look better without Jason Tatum? I got that. Someone said that to me. So you know what I did? Instead of reacting, instead of giving a reaction, which normally would be my first thing, I said, you know what? Let's do some Joe math. Let's look up the numbers. So what did I do? Jason Tatum's played 8 years in the NBA because he's still 19, I feel like. Did you know, for those who say, do they look better without Jason Tatum last night? I just want to give you the real facts. Numbers. 8 years he's played in the NBA. The Celtics are 5-14 in games. I only went winning records. 5-14 in games versus teams with winning records when he doesn't play. Because normally he sits against scrubs, and I'm not going to throw those in the mix. 5-14 when he doesn't play. So that's 5 wins without him versus winning teams in 8 seasons. 8. So, sir, man, who said, do they look better without Jason Tatum? Look at the numbers before you speak, because I have the numbers. And Joe Math tells me that is not good. What's that, 19? Let's see, 5 divided by 19. Joe Math, 26%, not good. Not good. Shout out to Adam Moscatel, who put this whole entire event together, who is walking his kid around the bar right now, putting him to sleep. Skaz, anything else to add on that? Facts versus facts, right, bro?
Yeah, I mean, just an outlandish take, but I get it. That's what the internet has become nowadays. Obviously, the Celtics are not a better team without Jason Tatum. That doesn't even need to be said. But yeah, we've mentioned at times that last year the Celtics were so dominant, and we've seen flashes of last year's team at times this year, but not as consistently. Last night was one of those nights where they just looked like they were playing basketball at a different level than the Phoenix Suns. It was just, outmatched in every aspect. Porzingis with 30 points, one of his, best games in a while. He continues to be, maybe their best player since returning from injury. It's him or Tatum on a nightly basis. And, just kudos to Missoula and Brad for getting Tatum to sit out finally a night. But, yeah, just another workman-like Celtics game. They win by 30. That's what they do. They 7th straight win on the road, like you mentioned, 14 of 15. Just ho-hum, another big win for the Celtics.
All right, well, one more thing, guys. Do you remember off the air? I said so my comparison for Baylor Shireman is still Joe Ingles. I just want to let everybody know that. But who did I say that would have been or comp for him? I don't know if you saw the move that Baylor Shireman made last night.
Oh, a little Rondo.
But did you see who I said he could be like?
Little
Do you remember
Jason
the
Williams?
name? Yes. You didn't see that? You didn't get that vibe last night?
I took it as more of a Rajon Rondo move.
Oh, okay.
I can see where you're coming from, Joe.
I'm trying to make Baylor Shireman the next. What was his name? White Chocolate? Was that his nickname?
Yes.
Yes.
Jason Williams.
Can I make that happen? Baylor Shireman the next. What was it, Jason Williams?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, there was a lot of Jason Williamses back then, huh? All right. Well, we have a guest here. He's lives down the street, which is great.
Yes.
And I live down the street, which is great. And we have lots of food. You should have saw the fajitas come in, bro. There's just a smoke right by me.
So you should have had me start at 7.
Yeah, you know what? I should have. But then I didn't want to, the Red Sox might not have been over yet. Anyways, he's Steve Buchanan, everybody. We'll give him the big intro coming in on the other side. But first, James Scaramazino will give you the Sports Hub headlines next here on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
From the Town Fair Time Studios, this is your home for every Patriots game.
Into the end zone, trying to keep the play alive. Falling down, he throws to the end zone. It's caught. He got it. Touchdown.
WBZ-FM and HD Boston. 98.5 The Sports Hub, a Beasley Media Group station. Essential Sports Hub headline presented by Celsius Energy Drinks.
Yes, Joe, as we've mentioned multiple times, the Red Sox winners on opening day today, a 5-2 win over the Texas Rangers. Wilyer Abreu, the hero, a 2-home run day, one to make it a 2-2 game, and then another one in the 9th to make it a 5-2 win for the Sox. Aroldis Chapman gets the win. Crochet, no decision in his debut, 5 innings pitched, 4 strikeouts, 2 earned runs, and Justin Slayton with the save and an impressive performance. Last night, 2 different stories for the Bruins and Celtics on the road. The Bruins 6-2 losers to the Ducks last night, and the Celtics 132-102 win over Phoenix, as we just mentioned. 7th straight road win, and Kristaps Porzingis leading the way with 30 points. As for the Sweet 16, Alabama leads BYU 50-38 right now with just under a minute left in the first half. Florida all over Maryland early, a 20-11 lead with 9:49 to go in the first half. And unfortunately, some sad news out of the Patriots. Former Patriots player and Super Bowl champion Matt Stevens unfortunately passed away today at the age of 51. Your Sports Hub headlines are brought to you by Safety Insurance, providing comprehensive coverage for your auto, home, and business. Ask your independent agent about safety. I'm James Scaramazino. Joe Murray has you next in 30 minutes.
Boston plays here.
Pressure, half court, it's in the air. He got it! He did it again!
98.5 The Sports Hub.
Joe Murray. Red Sox win today, 162-0. It's on the table, everybody. We got a lot on the table here. Well, actually, we've almost cleared the table. Steve, you're right. I probably should have told you 7 o'clock, but we have more coming.
Yes, we're okay now.
Well, I think you put in a special request. We ordered everything, but calamari.
Dude, that's like one of my favorites. If I go somewhere and you got good calamari, like customer for life.
All right, in. So Steve Buchanan, everybody, works over at DraftKings, does excellent work over there. I don't want to box you in as a baseball guy because you do everything. You do football, but I feel like you have this association to baseball. I don't know what it is.
It's just so near and dear to my heart. Like nothing gets me going than baseball. Like I was so psyched for today. I just wanted to see some baseball, and then MLB TV just crapped all over us this afternoon. Did you hear about that, by the way?
Yes. What are your thoughts on it? Because you do a lot. You do some hits on there. I know you got friends.
Yeah.
The people just work there. It's the technical guys that had the issue there.
But in a day and age where other sports are gaining popularity, like whether people want to admit it or not, the WNBA is blowing up right now. MLB needs all the good press, all the good marketing they can get, and they can't even get their streaming service to work on opening day.
It was
so that was the free. Maybe all news is good news, but that was not the news they wanted out there, and people couldn't even watch.
That was kind of my opening take tonight. Like the Red Sox game didn't end yet, so I didn't want to formulate an opinion on the Red Sox tonight. But it was the start of the baseball season. I was excited.
Sure,
I'm excited because I think we're going to get a good summer here.
So
a little selfish on it. I was actually fine with last year. I thought last year was competitive. So.
Yep.
But now there's expectations of October, but there's a lot of teams with expectations of October.
Right.
And I hate to say it, but in Major League Baseball, like take Red Sox out of it, there really are only a handful of teams that have those expectations going into the season. So I think that's why baseball kind of hurt itself as well, because the good players want to go to the better teams, right? Which is why I think Bregman going to the Red Sox was a shifter.
Yep.
But in general, though, I mean, do we know a lot of guys on some of these other teams around baseball? And this is why being on MLB TV and marketing some of their big guys, I think baseball still has a problem doing that.
Oh, without a doubt, and I think it's going to be a problem, for years to come. But that's why I think we're also in a really good period. Like just go back to the Red Sox, where they got all these top prospects who are on the cusp of coming up or are here already, like with Campbell, whatever. We still got Roman Anthony to come up. There's a lot of things to look forward to, but it's not getting those marketable guys. That's why they're so ecstatic about Paul Skeens, because that's all you see right now. Like that's like the baby face of the league right now, aside from Shohei Ohtani. So you just need more of those marketable guys, and they're really gonna put their a lot of their stuff into Skeens right now. But it's true, like there's not a lot of guys that if they were walking down the street, would the average fan even realize who's walking past them.
And MLB TV was free today, right?
So if you have T-Mobile, you can get it for free. It's probably the best perk out of any phone service that you can get right now. I do believe today and the next couple days there are a free trial, but nobody was able to watch anything because nothing was working. You have to have that stuff ready for opening day.
All right, so you had a big prop bet today. I saw your nice prop bet article. You gave all your big prop bets. What would you have on the Red Sox earlier today? Because I know that you had Screwball was one of them.
Yeah, that's going right now. Yep,
that's happening at the moment here. But just real quick, before we get into all that, I know you're into cards. I'm into cards.
Oh, baby, yeah.
I feel like that's the only way I can keep up with some of these players now. Like I used to be video games.
Oh, it's fair,
right?
yeah.
Like video games. But knowing Big Christmas and like the big nicknames. Oh, I heard today I got the Duranimal.
Oh, okay.
For Jaron Durant.
Yeah.
So I don't know how I feel about that.
I don't know if I like that too much.
I don't know if I do either, but I feel like the only way I can keep up with the other players across the league, like I don't know who Riley Green, like there's names.
Yeah.
Like, I know who they are, but I don't know who they are. So like it's hard for me to, that guy, he plays for that team.
Yep.
I think that's what like baseball tonight, right?
Yep.
Even the commissioner mentioned this recently about the relationship with ESPN. There's a lot of ways that MLB has dropped the ball, but I think for me, the way how I keep in touch with the game is through sports cards.
I mean, it's awesome. I love sports cards. I've been doing it really since I think a lot of people got into it around COVID, is when everyone kind of got into it, and we were paying, a top dollar for blaster boxes that you can now get for like $15 because the prices have dropped so much on some of this stuff. But I think cards are just another different way that you can invest in a team or whatnot, like, because I've been scooping up a lot of guys, like, over on DraftKings Network, where I write a lot of my stuff. I was writing up some guys that I think are undervalued that you can get in the card market that are, dirt cheap right now. And, Brandon Pfaadt is somebody over with the Arizona Diamondbacks who I love a lot, made the rotation. But I just bought his rookie auto to 25. I bought it the other day raw, and it was $45.
Wow.
Where the upside on this kid, he's very young, is immense. And, it's a long-term game. You have to be patient with this stuff, and there's a lot that goes into it. But I just love doing trading cards. I got my son into it too as well, so that's been really cool. But I think the trading card market has just boomed so much that it feels like it's just kind of part of the pop culture now. It's part of the everyday life if you're into sports gambling or daily fantasy. Cards is kind of in that same realm with all that now.
I did a show over the weekend, and everybody there was excited for baseball.
Yeah.
People had baseball cards, and people came to my table, and I don't. I have football and NBA, but it's like,
but that's the thing, like,
it's definitely a younger demographic,
and that gets people into different sports.
Thanks, Jerry.
Like for me to, I could invest in, some basketball cards. I'm not a big basketball guy. But if I'm investing in some basketball cards or guys that I know are going to perform, now I'm into the sport a little bit more. It's kind of like with daily fantasy and sports betting. Like, I bet on sports that I don't normally watch, but now I have interest.
Yes.
So it's like now I'm interested, and now I'm watching, and your ratings are going up, and you're getting ad revenue and whatnot. So it's, baseball's just got to explore different ways to get that crowd and get into it. But the sports card market, I think, has really helped that, kind of get people interested again.
I'm only bringing this up to the listeners that I talk a lot of cards on the show. So,
yeah, sure.
And people listening, again, some people, they love the card market. They don't understand the card market.
Yeah.
I'm only relating it to, I think it's the only way we can connect to the game now.
Sure.
Like, yeah, you could. I'm 43. I don't play video games in it. You have kids, so that probably gives you the right. You know what I mean? Like,
well, of course.
But you know what I mean? I don't know how I can, without going on Fangraphs. Like, the other day, I wanted to know who was. I looked up Texas, and I'm like, oh geez, that guy's there.
Yeah.
But I don't have the real. But I could tell you right now, probably lineups from the '90s on like the Blue Jays. I could tell you probably like they're literally their championship team.
Yep.
I could probably give you the '98 Yankees, like it's nothing. But try to give you the 2025 Diamondbacks.
Yep.
Oh boy.
Oh yeah.
I could probably give you the catcher and the other guy you mentioned.
Yeah. they're fourth starter,
and they're like a World Series candidate.
I know. I mean, they were just right there, just not too long ago, last year. But I think you're right, and I think cards really is kind of, because another thing too is like prospects are so well known now. Like, do you think that people will be talking away about prospects they were like 10 years ago, like the Tyler Millikins of the world?
Yeah.
I mean, he's an exception. Tyler's very knowledgeable. I love listening to Tyler and his stuff. But it's like, he brings that knowledge, and then just people being in cards and investing in these cards brings that awareness to people, because people didn't really talk about prospects like we do now 10 years ago. But they're so much better known now because of the card market, and it's like video games, like you said.
All right, well, I enjoyed the day as much as I'm kind of crapping on it. What's up, dude? As much as I know, everybody just got it.
I mean, I just got some calamari placed in front of me. Like, I'm here till 10.
You know who I love is Skaz in the back. Our intern Josh is back there too, so he's probably like, "What? Joe's on an event?" Like, there's a lot that goes on around here. But I was like looking at a bunch of bets today and everything like that, and I'm like, well, that guy's. I looked him up. I heard he's good.
Yeah.
Ooh, last year that guy. Oh, he only goes 4 innings a start though.
Well, see, this is the toughest time of year. People don't understand, because you're going off all information from last year, and you're trying to place that into today's, environment or whatever. It's so tough. Like the first month or so, I would always say is the toughest month to bet any sport when you're opening up in the first month or so.
Just before I want to get your thoughts on the Red Sox here, but what were your predictions for this year? Like, who do you have winning the American League?
I mean, I hate to be like the bias guy, but like the Red Sox really impressed me. And, we'll get into this more as we talk about the Red Sox today, but you had Crochet starting, then you had Chapman in the 8th, you had Slayton in the 9th, you get a big hit twice from Abreu. All these different guys contributing in ways that you weren't getting in the past years. This team is deep for the first time in years. There's a lot to like about this team. And the American League is pretty damn open, Joe. So, I don't want to come on here and be like, oh, Boston guy, I want the Red Sox to win. They probably have one of the best teams in the league.
You're not the only one, man.
Yeah.
And I go, when Jared does it, he gets pushed back for it.
Of course.
But he's giving an analysis, just like you. You're from here, but it doesn't mean that you're doing it because, you gave the disclaimer. I just wanted to fade the Yankees. It has nothing to do with Red Sox Yankees.
Right, absolutely.
I think a team that loses the World Series does struggle.
Right, but you think about some of the big teams that we've seen in the past few years. Houston's taking a step back.
Yep.
The Yankees are taking a step back. And now it's the other teams that have been kind of in contention that are there. Baltimore, Boston, Seattle is another team. Detroit is probably a year or two away from also being that team. They almost made the playoffs last year. So I think we're going to start seeing a pretty seismic shift in the teams that are in contention year to year from what we are used to over the past 4 or 5 years.
As of right now, the Red Sox are plus 300 to win the division.
That is a steal.
This is as of right this second.
It is
right
a
now,
steal.
On DraftKings.
The fact that the Yankees are still favored right now is a joke. Take that while you can. If I lose that bet, so be it. But if you compare those two rosters side by side with the guys that the Yankees have already lost this year, and we've played one game, they're not even on the same level at this point. The Red Sox are a much, much better team with Arsenal in the minors, by the way, than the Yankees are right now.
By the way, I saw Adley Rauschman's home run today.
Oh, he's a stud.
Whew.
He's a stud.
The Orioles, to me, I don't know why, they've been darlings for a while.
Yeah.
Like, as far as young players, watch out for Baltimore, right? That's the team I'm going to take.
You know what? And it's okay because they're another team that is they're so loaded in the farm system. They still got like 3 or 4 top prospects that haven't even made the major league yet. Like Kobe Mayo's one of them, too. Hasn't even come up yet. And they didn't do a lot during the offseason because they didn't need to. And I feel like this was always the plan, that you're going to struggle for a while, but you're developing all these players. Now you have all of these young, controllable assets for years to come. You don't have to go out and make these big moves in free agency because you're set already. I would have liked to have seen them get another starter. I think that really would have put them over the top. Losing Corbin Burns is, that's very hard to replace. You don't have guys that you can just exactly do that. But there are so many guys that are good young players in that system, in that lineup, that they are going to be contenders for years. And again, taking advantage of other teams that are sliding backwards. Tampa, no shot. Blue Jays on the cusp of losing their best hitter, potentially. And the Yankees, who are, getting older. They're much, much older now.
There's a lot of pressure on the Yankees.
Yeah, absolutely.
And again, teams that lose, I always have that, how do they bounce back? Judge with that big error in the playoffs.
Yep.
That stuff creeps back up on you. And then, your pitcher gets hurt. And then, it's just little things happen. By the way, a lot's coming out regarding the Red Sox win today. There's something that happened. There was a presence in the locker room that I'm very curious about.
Really?
So I wanted to get your thoughts on it. We'll share it with our listeners as well. Steve Buchanan's here from DraftKings, everybody. We're live from the Sylvan Street Grill in Peabody here until 11 o'clock tonight. I'm Joe Murray. You're listening to 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Don't go anywhere. There's more Joe Murray. More Joe Murray.
like, you know.
Oh, God,
Has
yeah.
Lakasha's always been over there, or is that fairly new over there?
I feel like that's fairly new. It wasn't a staple. Let's put it that way. Yeah.
But Billerica, they call it the Dirty Rick, right?
Yeah, oh, yeah.
That's what they. So you were never a North Shore person.
No.
Now you live on the North Shore,
Right.
And do you embrace it now?
Oh, I've adopted it.
Yeah, dude.
How can you not?
See, I'm a city kid, and whenever someone says like Joe's a North Shore guy, I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm from Boston.
Yeah.
When you grow up in Boston, you don't really go north.
No.
It's kind of, I don't want to say it's a no-no, but
It's kind of like it's slightly forbidden, frowned upon.
It's just funny because me and Bird are like best friends now, and like I would have never met Bird in my life. When would I have ever gone to Everett?
Oh no!
And I can't get my friends to go to the casino.
I mean, I was going to say the only reason I would ever go to Everett is for the casino. Now
they still go to Foxwoods. I'm like, guys, there's this little bridge over there.
Yeah.
With a big dig. You know, remember that whole thing? You just right over it.
I'll tell you what, though. Low-key, Foxwoods is still a banger.
Oh, God, do I love it. The
so
David
good.
Burke's hanging bacon.
You know what's coming at Foxwoods, or it might be there already, is one of those Great Wolf Lodges. Dude, that place is just like a mecca of everything at this point. It's a city in its own.
I need to eat there.
What's your spot there?
So I go to David Burke's for the most part when I go to Foxwoods, but I'm a Cedars over at Fox Tower.
Oh, okay. See, my wife and I used to go to Red Lantern all the time.
Oh, great spot.
Which is an affiliate, if I'm not mistaken, of Mystique.
Yes, which is owned by Big Night Live.
Yes.
Plugs to everybody.
Yeah, shout out them. You know, let's say card vault by Tom Brady. Them too. Hey, anybody else? DraftKings? Let's throw them out there. Silver Street Grill, we love you. Yep, but Red Lantern, that was our spot.
Oh, it's good.
Loved Red Lantern.
Yeah, so I used to do the walk. You know, it's a good walk. To Pequot Tower to Fox Tower, it's two different worlds over there.
Yeah, if you're not ready to walk, you know, don't go to Foxwoods, go to Mohegan. But you can. It's a hefty walk.
What I like about Mohegan is they got the Frank Pepe's Pizza over there.
You know what's great about Mohegan? It is by far the best smelling casino anywhere. I don't know what the mixture is. It's like lavender and something else. But every time I go in there, I go, I love the smell. I wish I could wear this smell. I wish they sold Mohegan Sun Cologne because I would wear it.
Whoa.
It is a wonderful smell.
So I'm getting some pushback on the Great Wolf Lodge.
Uh-oh.
I thought that was like the buffet place. Am I mistaken?
No, it's
No, what's the
Great Wolf Lodge? It's like a family water park.
Okay, so I'm confusing it.
What were you thinking of?
Isn't there a buffet place in Rhode Island that's what am I thinking of?
I have no idea what you're thinking of.
There's like this giant buffet in Rhode Island that I thought was the Great Wolf Lodge.
No. The Great Wolf Lodge is a water park for families.
All right, well, that's why
Are you
I'm
getting
getting the
pushback in the
pushback
chat?
now.
I got to open the chat.
That's why. Everybody that's in there. Well, anyways, I used to go to Whalum Park, damn it. Where else did we go back in the day?
New Hampshire. Surf Splashtown? Funtown Splashtown? Is that the name of it?
Well, there was Where's Beach had that.
Yeah.
Whalum Park. Where else the hell did we go?
I think it was Funtown Splashtown.
Okay.
I think. I mean, I don't know. I'm so like lost that you thought Great Wolf Lodge was a buffet that I'm just.
Yeah.
I'm shook.
Okay.
I'm shook.
Listen, there is something that's a buffet in Rhode Island that I'm confusing for the Great Nordic Lodge. Nordic Lodge.
Nordic Lodge.
I was thinking Nordic Lodge.
Oh, and Water Country. That's what I'm thinking. Okay. All right. We got it all straight.
Water Country. Have some fun.
Okay. Definitely don't listen to us for water park themed things. That is not our thing. So come here for food. Come here for bets. Do not come here for water park talk. That is not our jam at all.
I'm really sorry for derailing the show, but this is the show. I hope you know that this is what we do.
That's fine.
Skaz is probably shaking his head right now about all this. But maybe we just came up with a great idea. What about a water park that has an all-you-can-eat buffet? And like have it be like an all-day affair.
Yeah,
like
see,
you
that
get the breakfast brunch.
Yep.
The water park all day.
Yep.
And then at night you get the great buffet.
Yeah, that
with
could
like
work.
A movie theater or something.
Yeah.
Outdoor movie theater.
Oh, see, now you're getting crazy. Watch the movie in a raft while you're on the lazy river. Yeah.
Maybe we get some tables, do a little betting in there.
Oh, All right, now we're going off the rails. I was just going to say, now you can just go to Vegas. I have all this.
All right. Back on track. 617-779-0985. That was, I just went down a rabbit hole there. All right. So we have some people on the line that want to talk to us.
Oh, okay.
But you have the Red Sox in the American League. Who do you have in the National League?
National League is going to be tough. Everybody's going to say the Dodgers and whatnot. That's fine. I think the Phillies got a really complete team. I think the Phillies are a team that people are going to... Well, we'll put it this way. Everybody overlooks everything in the National League because of the Dodgers, because they are the super team. And, obviously they should be the favorites to win. They're plus 160 to win the league. This is, day one already. But the Phillies just got such a complete team. They have a stellar offense. They got a really good bullpen rotation. Bullpen's pretty solid too as well. I think they're a team that people can consider, because it's a tough division too. Mets, Atlanta, Philly. It's going to be a competitive division, but I think the Phillies could pull through.
Yeah, I saw Harper went deep earlier today.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, they won 7-3.
Yep.
Big win for them. So, yeah, the Phillies getting back there.
I like
a
the
Philly
Phillies.
Boston would be.
That would be.
I would favor Philly. In
the series?
Yeah.
Yeah. If everybody's healthy, yeah. I think it would be very close. It'd be very close.
All right. We've been talking a lot of ballpark foods lately. I don't know if you've seen all the stuff that's been put out there. So Harry is in Texas right now. He was at the game.
Yep.
Harry, what's going on, buddy?
Hey, Joe. It's Harry Chronic from the YouTube crew.
Harry Chronic Jr. How are you, sir?
Yep. That is me. So just came out of the Sox game. Had the boomstick burrito, the new Texas Ranger food that they had. 26-inch long burrito.
Wow.
Filled with cheese, meat, jalapenos. Was pretty good. Was pretty good for ballpark food. Definitely not something one person can eat. Definitely not something that you can sit in your seat and eat with. So kind of stand around the concessions.
Do you think you could have swung it like a bat?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Do you think it was longer than Will Campbell's arms?
Oh.
26-inch. What did he come in at?
He's 33, but that's on a good day.
That's on a good day, yeah. 26-inch. So I saw Will Campbell's arm in my plate.
Did you finish it?
It took three of us. It did take three of us. It was filling. It is a lot of meat and cheese and beans inside, so it is a filling. It's not cheap. And it is a pretty big burrito.
How was the game overall? What was the vibe like?
Good. A lot of Sox fans, right? We always travel well. There's a big contingent of Red Sox fans in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. We were with a large group. I think there was 75 of us. Part of the Red Sox DFW nation. So
75 people, bro.
75 people. Yep, all together. So
in Arlington, huh?
In Arlington, yeah, all around the DFW area. I'm originally from Rhode Island, so I think Rhode Island fits in the DFW area something like 33 times.
Are you staying in Arlington, or are you going to? Are you going back to Dallas?
No, so I live about 2 hours south of Arlington, so I'm actually on the drive back home. But I'll be back for Saturday and Sunday's games.
Awesome, man. Appreciate the update on that one. I went to Dallas a couple of years ago for WrestleMania. It was too big.
Ooh. Yeah.
Texas was just too big for me.
I've heard that.
But, man, I saw a lot of food there today, and I'm glad that guy called in on that. Just real quick, what'd you think of Rafael Devers' day? He struck out 3 times, and I guess he grounded out on the other one.
Yep.
But to me, I smell a rat there. Do you think he struggled because of Evaldi? Or do you think that maybe this was all right, you want me to DH? All right.
You know what this was? This Red Sox win was a sports radio dream. Because Crochet was good, not great.
He was meh, but he was okay. Encouragingly meh.
So put it this way. You will look at the stats, you'll look at the box score and say, he was okay. But here's what I look at. He had 14 swings and misses. Love to see that. He wasn't getting a lot of hard contact off his pitches. Like to see that. First start, he even said it himself. He was trying to do too much in the beginning. Because I think like through the first 2 innings, he was over 40 pitches already. And it was like, uh-oh. And then he seemed like he really settled in and he was good after that. But Devers going 0 for 4, 3 strikeouts. People are going to have a field day with that.
Oh, yeah.
And
it was smelly. I'm going to tell you.
It wasn't good. It wasn't good. And I got to say, the first thing that I thought of, because not only did he go 0 for 4, 3 strikeouts, he didn't look good in the process either.
Did he? Okay. I'm not a man.
Great.
I'm not a man that's going to talk about another man's weight. Okay? But I feel like I have the right to do so.
Yep.
If someone's going to talk about my weight,
sure,
I'm going to talk about theirs.
Sure. I mean,
he looked a little puffy. His uniform looked a little puffy.
Yeah, it definitely was a little tighter than usual. We're not in Pablo Sandoval territory just yet.
No, we're not there.
But here's what's going to happen now. Because of those comments that he made in the beginning of the year, that is going to follow him from March till October. It doesn't matter if he's on a hot streak. It doesn't matter if he's on a cold streak. That is going to travel with him now moving forward. Because at the end of the day, you put Bregman on the field as a defender because that is what's best for the team. If you want to win, you put out the best team possible. Him being on the field, talking about Devers, is not the best team possible. He was the worst defensive third baseman since, I believe, 2017, and he debuted in 2018. Okay? That says a lot about the lack of defense that he provides. So you get a Gold Glove third baseman, you better put him on the field and make him defend. Devers and DH is the move, but, what happened behind the scenes to, quote-unquote, convince him to do it?
In 30 days.
Yep. Did you actually convince him? Or did you say, hey, if you want to play, this is what you're going to do? That's what I want to know. That's what we need to find out moving forward.
So, I'm not defending Devers, but when he signed that contract, he got some...
I didn't like it.
Well, I didn't like the contract either, but they had to keep him. But it was forced. But what I mean by it, though, is Chaim Bloom was the guy that was like, oh, yeah, you signed this year. Yeah.
Yep.
Well, Chaim Bloom.
Yep.
Ain't here no more.
Right.
I hate to say it, but in life, you might sign a contract, but things change.
Right.
And I'm only bringing this up because I remember Manny Ramirez in New York.
Sure.
Was out the night before with Enrique Hernandez.
Yep.
He was somebody. One of the middle infielders of the Yankees.
I can't remember his name off the top of my head, but you're right. Yep.
He might have played for the Red Sox once too.
Yeah.
Anyways, hey, what's up, everybody? They're giving away stuff. But remember, Manny took 3 balls right down the middle of the plate. 1, 2, 3 in the 9th inning.
Yep. Bad look.
He tanked.
Bad look.
They had a whiff of that.
Yep. So, again, I'm not sitting here and trashing Devers already. It's been one game, and this is what I'm talking about. This was a sports radio perfect game because everybody's going to hone in on that and go, oh, told you so. He doesn't want a DH. This is not going to be a guy that's going to be cooperative. But I would have liked to have seen a little more in those at-bats. If you go down 0 for 4, but we had good at-bats, we had long at-bats, we're making contact, I can be okay with that. They weren't competitive at-bats, and that's what worries me a bit. Again, just going off what we've seen in the past 4 hours, I hope he turns it around because the Red Sox need him on offense. That's part of the best team possible.
I also think they just need him focused.
Sure.
If he goes to the dugout when the guys are out on the field, I don't care.
Yep.
I don't care about that. But, I don't know. He's one of the leaders. He's a champion.
I don't know if he's I think that's a big misconception. He's not a leader.
Okay, he doesn't have to be.
Exactly, he doesn't have to be. But I think people perceive him to be a leader.
That's why I said
just
champion.
Because of the contract. Champion works good.
I use the word champion because he knows what it takes.
Correct.
Can he rub can that rub off on other people?
Sure.
I don't know if he's willing to do that right now.
Right. But I think that we have this perception that he is a leader on the team. When that's not something I think he ever wanted to be. Just because you're handed this massive contract doesn't automatically make you a leader. Because guys who can lead, years ago, Gabe Kapler was a leader of the team. Was he making multi-millions? No, he was the fourth outfielder on the team who had an absolute cannon, by the way. But he was a leader. That's just how he was. And now look, now he's a manager in Major League Baseball. So I just think that there's a lot of unfair criticism on Devers, but at the same time, I didn't like what I saw today at the plate against somebody he's familiar with Nathan Eovaldi. Wasn't happy about it.
All right, Ralph's in Cranston on Rafael Devers. What's up, Ralph?
Hey, Joe. First of all, that place in Rhode Island, I think, honey, what was that? The Nordic Lodge, I think.
Nordic Lodge.
Yep. Terrible food. It's bulk, and it's terrible food. But anyway, I love.
Well, shout out to the Nordic Lodge.
I really love watching Chapman. You know, he's a character. Devers, I think, first of all, no one ever perceived this guy to be a leader. I don't know what he's talking about. No, they know is exactly the opposite. He doesn't want to be a leader. But I've got to tell you, you know, this guy looks like he's disinterested. You know, he's so overweight. You know, I just don't, and this could be a problem. And if it is a problem, it just doesn't make sense why, once again, they didn't do it. Now, you guys are young. I mean, you guys are as old as me. I remember a great Red Sox by the name of Rico Petrocelli. He was their starting short. They went to him, Joe. They said to him, yeah, you're right, the fans love you, but we got a chance to pick up Louis Aparicio, a tremendous defensive shortstop. What do you think? Yes, you know what? I agree. I'll move. I'll go to third. They didn't do that with Devers, and Devers was told, we know, you know, sign this contract, you'll be our third baseman. I hope this doesn't become a problem. And lastly, why are you not putting this guy back? Hit him third. Why you hit him second? Why don't you get a contact hitter, someone who can move Durant over? But I should say that. Lastly, Pete Rose's number is on Reds jerseys. Why is Louis Piat why are they not honoring Piat, the most popular Red Sox? I think him and David Ortiz, they should do that. There was an article I read today, Joe, in the Herald.
Appreciate that. Sorry about that. I did notice the Pete Rose stuff today. I'm out on Pete Rose because I went to meet him at WrestleMania a couple of years ago with Ric Flair, and he didn't show.
Really?
No,
he got tombstoned.
Now,
he might have been incapacitated.
No longer with us.
Well, now got tombstoned for real.
Now I can't meet him. But I'm pissed.
Yeah.
So now I think of Pete Rose. First off, he should never go to the Hall of Fame.
I do want to discuss this.
Okay, in 15 seconds or less, steroids or gambling?
Steroids.
I give let the steroids go.
Yeah, steroids.
You can't do that was like the Adam and Eve, the apple. Not to, I grew up somebody I thought I was Jewish tonight, so I had to remind them that I went to Catholic school. But yes, Adam and Eve, don't eat the apple.
Yeah.
Don't eat it.
Yep.
What do? They eat it. Well, you know, that's what happened with Pete Rose. Don't gamble on your own team. He gambled on his own team.
Yep.
Out.
Yep. Yeah,
I don't know if that was the best correlation there, but that's all I got.
It works. Give me the steroids, guys, because you know what? That's when Major League Baseball was at its peak in popularity.
Oh yes. Oh, you should have heard.
Juice them up.
You know, the other day, someone told me that they thought Ken Griffey Jr. was better than Barry Bonds, and I loved Ken Griffey Jr. I loved Ken Griffey Jr.
Yeah.
He was I mean, is this a take? He was better than Barry Bonds. Was the best player I think I've ever saw in my life.
And not only that, Barry Bonds was it. We always talk about the home runs. He was an on-base machine. Granted, a lot of that was doing with intentional walks, but the dude
take the Giants' lifetime out of it.
Yeah, right.
The dude was awesome.
Right, I know.
Awesome.
Absolutely.
Anyways, I got lost there thinking about Pete Rose and how he blew me off.
Well, Kane gave him a well-deserved tombstone at WrestleMania 14.
So people have asked what's on the menu. Right now, we have taters.
Yep.
We have, these, you guys see these nachos? I got to take a photo. We got fries, calamari on the table. We got more dip over. There's a lot, dude. We got a lot going on here. We shouldn't leave without the Toll House Pie. You ever had the Toll House Pie?
Nope.
Okay. Well, we'll do that at some point throughout the night. We'll take a quick look at the headlines. The Sweet 16's ongoing. And I have more for Steve. I got some more baseball, and I got some football stuff for you.
Okay.
Draft odds?
Yeah, we can do
it. You looking at this stuff?
Yeah, a little bit.
I
yeah.
know you have to. It's your job.
You have to.
We'll take a quick break. I'm Joe Murray, 98 Father Sports Hub.
Had the boomstick burrito, the new Texas Ranger.
Sports Hub
hear that?
Headline.
Yep.
Presented by Celsius Energy Drinks.
All right, Red Sox win 5-2 today on the All right, back here 98.5 The Sports Hub. I'm Joe Murray. We're live from the Sylvan Street Grill. It's packed. I've gotten summoned.
Well, we were passing around the calamari, and it's getting rave reviews.
Oh, well, that's just...
So,
okay. What's the dipping sauce there?
I don't know, but it's delectable.
Ooh,
is that a good word?
I like
That's not
that
a bad word, right? I think that was on
like
Wordle
that.
the other day, and I was like, I got to take it.
All right. So when I do the Sylvan events, I always call you. I know you couldn't do you're a busy man. You're doing like
bit.
wrestling now.
Yeah. Yep.
You know, you got breaking cards elsewhere.
I know.
And you're a dad, so I give you.
Yep.
Yeah. So I appreciate you coming in tonight.
Of course.
I did contact Brian Barrett. Do you know he lives down the street? I think you were here Were you here with him last time? So anyways, the three of us live
like in a triangle.
Like not even miles apart. Like we could, and it's funny, but like when they say Sylvan Street, I'm like, I got it. I'll call a couple of guys in the area.
Yeah.
So I do feel. I almost called my buddy Justin Barrasso, if you know him from Sports Illustrated.
Oh yeah, of course.
Covers the wrestling.
I was going to say wrestling guy. Yeah.
Thought maybe we could get like a wrestling wars.
Right.
So anyways, I just feel like, you know how like in UFC they have like the what do they call that crew for the New England Mafia? Is that what they call it?
Oh, I think so. Yeah.
Something like cartel. The New England cartel. Do we
that
have
could have
like,
been us.
Do we have like is there like a North Shore thing going on out here?
You know what? We didn't realize it, but I think there is.
Because like Carabas lives in like Linfield.
Yes, he does.
And he's got by the way, he's got like we haven't been invited there, but he's got a very nice watching TV.
Oh, you got to, I'll tell him next time.
You've been there.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God.
Oh, yeah, I go for all the wrestling events.
Maybe it's more of a Joe problem than a Jared problem. So you've been there.
Oh, I'm there for every wrestling pay-per-view. Yeah.
How is this not sponsored? Like a watch-along with you guys.
I couldn't agree more.
Anyways.
And now I will say, a little bit of competitive there. You know, I am with DraftKings.
That's true.
It would have been cool a couple of years ago when we were all together.
Yeah.
But honestly, it feels like I go watch wrestling with Section 10. Because, Peralt's there.
Is Milliken there?
He has, oddly, he has not been there.
Is his shirt on or off?
I mean, it should be off.
No, but... Guys, what was it last year? What was he doing about his nipples? What
Joe,
was up
how
with
could
that?
you forget? Sweeping the nation, nipples for triples.
Triples,
triples. That's right.
And every time it happened, you'll appreciate this. Whenever we played the Val Venus, hello.
Oh,
ladies.
yes. Well, Milliken was complaining about MLP BTV being down, and I tweeted him. I said, send them a topless picture for the inconvenience. Start bringing it back. You know what I mean?
So here's the deal. This is what I mean. Like, I'm 43.
Yeah, okay.
How old are you?
38.
Okay.
Yep.
All right, we're close enough.
In the realm. Yep.
But I do think that's like this show right here.
Yeah.
The ratings 18 to 49. Whew.
Oh yeah.
Whew.
The Joe
It's like
show.
it's big time.
Yeah.
But they only care about that 25. I know that I say that a lot. But the thing is that I think we're the ones who have money. Like we're the ones who go out.
Yeah.
We're the ones who spend. We're the ones who have disposable income on our gambling.
Right. Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying? So I just feel like Major League Baseball should be hitting that demo.
Yeah.
But maybe there were some old timers today that were, I can't find the game or whatever. Enough of that. I wanted to talk some football odds real quick.
Yeah.
What do you think is going to happen at the top of the draft?
So at least when you're looking at the betting odds right now, you got Ward going 1 overall. Overwhelming favorite, by the way. Minus 1,600 for that. And then it gets a little dicey after that because at 2, which is the Browns, I believe, at 2, the consensus has been that they're going to take Carter now. I would love Carter on the Patriots. I don't know if we're going to get there, but I feel like that would be one of the big pieces of the puzzle that could really kind of put a bow on this team for the offseason, for the very busy offseason that they have. But it really comes down to, are they going to take, someone like Carter, or are they going to get a quarterback? Because their quarterback situation right now continues to be a mess. They got Kenny Pickett, and that, Kenny Pickett's not going to be a
What would you do at 1?
If I had 1 and you're the Titans, see, I always felt like the Titans have so much work to do. Is it worth trading out of the number 1 pick? But at the same time, the number 1 pick this year is not worth the number 1 pick it was, say, 2 years ago or even last year. So it's like kind of like a damned if you do, damned if you don't, because Ward's going to be a great building piece for them, but what kind of capital are you going to get at 1? Because I don't feel like there's, because in the past couple of years, there's been like a solidified number 1 pick. We all know who's going to go number 1. I don't know if the consensus is starting to grow that way with Ward, but I just feel like this is going to sound weird. I'm almost glad the Patriots didn't get 1.
Oh no.
Do you feel that way? How would you? Okay, if
do you know
the
what it was? It's because I worked post game.
Okay, fair.
When they won, I was pissed.
Yeah.
And I was like the first one to react to it, and I'm still pissed. And I do think that the coaching staff reported, not Joe's take, reported the coaching staff was tipped off to them being fired.
Yep.
They won the game.
Sure.
So I know the Bills were throwing the game.
Yep.
But you could have run it every single play.
So
you could have taken knees every play if you wanted to.
Absolutely. But let me ask you, so let me put it to you this way. If they had number 1 and you're going to take Ward, are you happy with that?
If the
Patriots are 1.
The Patriots had number 1 pick.
Yep.
I think they would go Abdul Carter because of the defensive-minded coach. Yeah. Because of the coach, defensive-minded.
Yeah.
I think Travis Hunter.
Now, would you be happy with that, though?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. I would be happy right now at 4, Carter, Hunter.
I could get down with that.
And if they miss out, it's probably Will Campbell.
If Carter doesn't go 2, I think you have him at 4. I think you're pretty locked in at 4.
What's up with these betting odds, though? Like, the Giants are favorited to get Travis Hunter now, but yet the Patriots' favorite is offensive lineman to be their first-round selection.
Yeah.
It's weird odds, man.
Yeah. No, and that's why I also would caution people that you have to be so careful with betting the draft because there's so much movement, there's so much bad information, there's so much smoke. Like every time that you a mock draft from a notable name comes out, the odds shift dramatically. So you have to be prepared to hedge out your bets or whatever or whatnot when you're betting the draft. It's definitely a slippery slope, but I know guys that also clean up. Doesn't Lifshatz do really well with the mock drafts too as well? I'm betting the draft.
Yeah, and you know what he does? He does where guys will go. Does this guy fit into the top 10, 15? And the betting lines haven't been great they haven't led you. It's good to see where they start, but on the day of the draft, you've lost all your value.
Oh, absolutely. Barring something major happening, like a trade or whatever.
I think if I'm the Titans, I would go Abdul Carter. They had one of the top 10 red zone defenses last year.
Right.
You're just going to give up on Will Campbell? When Will Campbell had Hopkins, he was good.
Right.
So I just maybe give him more receivers. What is up with the league?
Yeah.
Not supporting young quarterbacks with wide receivers. It's worked at Tua. I just look at Tua.
Right.
He sucked before they gave him wide receivers.
Well, it's amazing how, and you think about some of the quarterbacks that have been drafted early. Trey Lance is basically out of the league already, which is insane to me. I know he's looked bad, but already, giving up on him already. Kenny Pickett's a backup, barring that he ends up winning the job with the Browns or whatnot. Will Levis they're already looking towards the future with Will Levis. The turnaround is so quick, but teams are so willing to drop all this capital early for taking a quarterback first. Bryce Young, the Panthers are probably thrilled with his second half. Because that was looking like it was going to be another dud. Thankfully, he looked good in the second half for the Panthers. But the capital that these teams drop on quarterbacks and then the turnover so quickly is mind-boggling. Did the Steelers really have to give up on Kenny Pickett already? He was good. He wasn't great, but
in Philly now, Philly.
Well, he went from Philly.
McKee.
Do you?
Yeah.
He's showing you enough?
I think McKee could play if Hurts went down.
Yeah. But it's amazing that it went from Pittsburgh to Philly to Cleveland. Already for Kenny Pickett. This guy was one of the darlings of the draft.
And guess where Justin Fields is?
New York.
And Mac Jones is with the 49ers, which was hinted the entire time.
Yep.
Right? Wasn't that the whole talk?
Yep. And he didn't look bad with the Jags, by the way.
Come on.
In the situation he was
blows.
in, I'm not saying that I like him, but the situation he was put in, he wasn't all that bad.
You know what? I'll agree with you that imagine if they could support a young quarterback.
Amazing.
They wouldn't be exposed.
Implement that in the league. Support your young quarterbacks.
Imagine that. Can you hang around a little bit?
Yeah, let's go.
All right, we'll take a break here. I believe this hour of the Sports Hub was brought to you by Valvoline Instant Oil Change. You can get quick and convenient vehicle maintenance this month. Visit NewEnglandOilChange.com. You can save 15% off your next draft oil change. I brought you in to talk like sports and gambling, but like obviously I know you can talk anything.
We were talking water parks earlier.
Yeah.
What the hell? Why not?
You know what's so funny? Some guy tweeted at me, "Hey Joe, I get what you mean though. Keep going with the convo." Like they knew that I meant Nordic Lodge, but they wanted to keep hearing us make the idea of what would be the creation. Anyways, all right. Well, Skaz is going to get you caught up in Sports Hub headlines here. Steve Buchanan's going to hang around. He's from DraftKings, and go follow him. Check out all his stuff. He wrote a bunch of stuff there that we didn't promote whatsoever, but now we are. And you know what? We're going to do in or out.
Let's do it.
Do you know the game? It's in. You're out.
Oh yeah.
All right.
We'll do it.
We'll do that next here on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
What's it gonna be, McFly? Are you in?
with Steve Buchanan.
I'm excited for this.
I didn't flip. You're not on the camera tonight because last
That's
time
okay.
we said you looked like Ben Roethlisberger.
Oh, yeah, we don't need that
Does
again.
he look like Ben Roethlisberger street
Be
team?
honest. Yeah.
Yeah, see? He's got hints of Roethlisberger.
I mean, can't we get somebody else?
I know. I'll work on it. I'll workshop Steve Buchanan and what he looks like and not be Ben Roethlisberger.
I mean, if I'm going to look like him, I just want to make it very clear I don't act like him.
Yeah.
Let's just make that very clear.
You do not. You do not. That's true. You'd have 4 Super Bowls. All right, we're live from Sylvan Street Grill. We have Steve Buchanan, the DraftKings. He writes for DraftKings, everybody. He does content for DraftKings, everybody. What else do you do? Do you do the sweat? What happened to the sweat?
We have a fast channel.
Okay,
yeah,
yeah.
DraftKings Network.
I have it on my app.
Yeah,
I watch you guys.
We're just kind of
the DK Live? What is this app?
DraftKings Network is the fact.
Got it.
But I'm doing a lot of the writing now. I do a lot of the video stuff on my own, which is good and everything. But they just we've moved on from the sweat. We did that for years.
I love that.
It was a great show. But I
love you, Julian.
You know what's great though? I don't have to wake up at 4 a.m. on the weekends. So while I miss the show, I do not miss the 4 a.m. wake ups on the weekends. That can go away.
Like radio. I love radio.
Yeah,
but I miss my money.
Right.
Speaking of that, Skaz, how you doing back there, bud?
We're hanging in there, Joe. You know how it is. A little lonely back here, but me and Josh are holding it down. Luis still in the building. All right,
well, what do we got on tap tonight for In or Out?
A Thursday night edition of In or Out with you and Steve. We'll start, Joe, where we have to start. We did a lot of MLB food last night. Well, you sent one to Slack earlier today where Josh was actually a former intern. The Hartford Yard Goats unveiled the Float Your Goats. It is a quarter-pound all-beef hot dog with chopped peppers, onions, bacon, and brown mustard submerged in a glass of 100% whole goat milk. Are we in or out on the Float Your Goat?
Steve?
What? You had me until the last sentence. Why does it have to be in the goat milk? What even is goat milk? I feel like that's not sanitary. Like I'm looking at it now.
That's Steve, everybody.
Oh, no. No, I am out on that. I am out on that.
I love food. But you know what I don't want to wash it down? Milk. Out.
Who came up with that? Who was in the board meeting and they said, are we all in favor? And they said, yeah.
No, do you know what it is? Guys, I got this great idea. We're the yard goats, right? Whatever floats your goat. And they were like, all right, let's think of stuff that floats. And they were like, sausages.
I'm in on everything until we got to the milk. Because honestly, hot dogs with bacon, low key, that's a great combo. But then you put it in the goat milk. Nope.
Is there a Fenway creation you would make? Because I love street meat.
Oh, okay.
I'm a street meat guy.
Oh, we're just spitballing right now.
Yeah, like a Fenway. What is Fenway's got the hot dog, right?
Well, and they also got the street tacos now. That's new for this year.
What about a street taco?
Yeah.
With street meat in the middle.
Yeah.
In.
Yeah, I would
All
definitely
right,
be in on that. Yeah.
Done. Next guest.
All right, from Float Your Goat to a Hallmark, Joe and Steve. Last year, we got the Chiefs Hallmark Christmas movie. Well, it sounds like the Buffalo Bills and Hallmark will be teaming up to produce another Christmas movie. This is called Holiday Touchdown, a Bills love story. I'm guessing a take on Josh Allen and Haley Steinfeld. Are we in or out on a Buffalo Bills-themed Hallmark movie?
Are they going to break tables in the parking lot?
See, now that's that. No. So that's where the drama starts, right? There's a couple together. There's a new guy. He's our main antagonist, and he sneaks up on the loving couple, puts them through a table, and this is where the love triangle starts because the woman is so impressed by what she just saw that this behemoth of a man just put somebody through a table, and this is where the lifetime love story starts. My wife's going to be thrilled. She likes the Bills. She likes Josh Allen, so she'll be happy about this. But I'm out on watching it, first and foremost. But I'm in on the sneak attack and put him through the table. That could pique my interest.
So, I was not out on the Taylor Swift Kelsey stuff.
Dumb.
I wasn't.
You're such a softie, Joe.
No, it's not that I'm a softie. I'm a Swiftie.
Are you really?
I think Taylor's an incredible act. Yes.
Joe.
I do.
There's no way that your audience agrees with that sentiment. Not a shot.
I apologize, but I'm not sorry.
I'm very disappointed in you.
Well, listen,
I'm very disappointed in you.
I like Taylor Swift, and I like Creed.
You like what?
Creed.
Oh, that's okay. Yeah, that's all right.
I'm just saying the stuff that everybody hates, I like.
Oh, you're one of those.
No,
you're one of those.
I'm not one of those.
The attention getters. That's what we call them.
No. Listen, I like Taylor Swift. So but I don't know if I'm in on Josh Allen though.
We got to put the guy through the table. That's how you'll get my interest.
Yeah, dude, you're not welcome unless you put her through the table. I think I'm out, but maybe I'll give it a chance.
You will, because everyone will hate it, so that's when you step in.
I
like it now.
That's when I step in.
Oh, everybody hates it? Oh, Joe
Steve,
Murray. I like it now.
You're right.
You are a great radio personality. You are made for this job. Yep, that was a Felger thing of you to do.
Wow. See, someone just said Mike Felger in the chat. I learned that from the Big O. I'll give that. That was Big O.
Okay.
I'll give him credit for that one. Skaz?
Yep.
Are you in, Skaz?
I don't. With the Hallmark movie, are we still talking about that?
Yes. Is that what we're talking about?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm out. I'm not a Hallmark guy. Maybe when I'm 50 years older, I'll tune in.
There you go, Skaz.
But we have two wrestling guys, in the booth, and one I thought retired wrestler, but you guys would know better than me. Keeps making waves. One Ric Flair seems very invested in John Cena's run to WrestleMania. Ric Flair saying this week that he will be in attendance at WrestleMania, maybe to interfere. Are you gentlemen in or out on Ric Flair at WrestleMania?
If he's there for Charlotte, I'm in on that.
Yep.
Ric
Flair can't let go. Dude, it's over. You are one of the most decorated wrestlers of all time, and you are ruining your reputation by constantly going out and getting drunk and making a public ass of yourself. You cannot keep your mouth shut. And not only that, if I'm not mistaken, he's under contract with AEW. So how can you show up at WrestleMania? Tony's not going to let that fly. I guarantee it. But he is so butthurt about Cena potentially breaking his record, which, by the way, he should. He absolutely should.
That was the best take of the night.
Thank you very much.
Actually, don't have nothing else to add to that.
15 minutes after I was supposed to be gone.
Yes.
That was my best take of the night.
I will say this. If somehow Ric Flair puts John Cena in a figure four,
not happening. Ric Flair almost died in his retirement match that was 25 years older than it happened.
And he gets paid by the other company.
From AEW.
Should we keep saying that? Just like when we all thought the Shield was there. And we're like, guys, no, he's not showing up. He gets paid by somebody else.
Yeah, Moxley was going to show up at WrestleMania.
So I'm out, Skaz. That's the answer. Out.
All right, we will head to LeBron James for this one. I will not ask you if you're in or out on him and Stephen A. squaring off at the next Rough and Rowdy, but LeBron James is continuing his podcast that was once with JJ Redick. He announced this week that it will now be LeBron and Steve Nash hosting the podcast together. Are we in or out on a LeBron Steve Nash podcast?
Steve?
Is it weird for a player, an active player, to have a podcast? I'm a genuine question. Like, in a way, I kind of like the idea, but I don't know if I like it because of who it is. You know, like, I think it would be cool to have, like, podcasts of active players and not, but, like, I don't know if I want to listen to LeBron and Nash talk about whatever. You know, it's just a weird dynamic.
I don't care Steve Nash, I actually don't care any about Steve Nash.
Yeah, sure.
Is it weird? Like, Draymond does a podcast.
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
There's a bunch of retired guys who do podcasts.
Everybody has a podcast, Joe. If we polled everybody in Silver Street Grill, 30% of the people here probably have a podcast.
Tommy from Lynn has a podcast.
Tommy has a podcast. Everybody's got a podcast.
Topher's got a podcast. Joe's got a podcast. Everybody's got a podcast. Everyone just looked at me when I yelled that. Oh. You know what? No, it's another thing. I don't think I want to hear about LeBron yet.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, okay.
What? 20 years down the line, or maybe even 10 years. I think Hey, LeBron, remember when you took off your shirt and you lost to the... Because now he wants to, say it was the big four that beat him, not the big three that beat him.
But here's what I would pose to you. Would you take what LeBron James says years from now at face value?
No. It's like Hulk Hogan.
Exactly. He feels like he's turning into a Hulk Hogan-esque guy. Hulk Hogan, supposedly the lead guitarist for Metallica years ago.
I know, right?
Didn't let it happen.
Oh, he should have been the guy who had the George Foreman grill, too, right? Yeah.
Yeah, maybe he can steal it now. He can take it now, right? That's up for grabs.
Skaz, we'll have more on this later, but Skaz is you ever watch a match and you like somebody and then they do something and you just turn on them?
In wrestling?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know who I actually did that the opposite way when Daniel Bryan fought Kofi. I was like, there's no way Kofi could win this title. I don't know what happened during the match. I turned.
Yeah.
We started rooting for
That's
Kofi.
when he won the world's not the world title, but the recycled world title, whatever it was. Yeah.
But and then there's times where I'm like, all right, I've had enough of this guy.
Yeah.
Like LA Knight, I don't know why I'm starting.
I can't stand him.
You feel the same way as me.
So overrated.
I'm starting
I've never
to
liked
sour
him.
on him.
His time has come and gone. His time was never here, actually.
All right, Skaz, what else, bud?
All right, we will end with this one tonight. Some golf news, I guess you could say. But one, the legendary Jim Nantz announced he's retiring in 2036. Are we in or out on the Jim Nantz 11-year retirement announcement? He says he wants to retire at the 2036 Masters because it will be the 100th Masters and his 51st time calling the tournament.
I don't even 2036, bro.
Dude, I'm hoping I make it to next week, let alone planning my retirement 11 years from now. Like, I did see that, and I was like, you know what? Good on him. That's just such a bold boss move. Be like, hey, by the way, just letting you know, I'm done in 11 years.
Yes.
Not 5, not 10. I'm done in 11 years.
Imagine telling the people at DraftKings that they're investors. Hey, guys. What do you think the stock rate's going to be in about 11 years? Because that's what I'm going to end.
Yeah. Just so you put this in your planner. I'm done in 2050. All right. I got 25 more years, but plan on that. I'm out in 2050.
And again, the views and opinions of this have nothing to do with anybody besides what I just said.
Correct.
No, it's stupid.
No,
but you know what?
I'm in on it.
It's almost like a power move.
That's why I'm saying it's so absurd that I'm in on it because of that.
I'd get a tie company to get behind him. You know, he always cuts his tie. They just, have just years of cut ties.
Yeah.
You know?
Now, here's what I'm worried about, though. So, when Major League Baseball players say, oh, this is my last year, so then we get the farewell tour, like we got that with Ortiz, and they give him all these gifts. Are people obligated now to start giving him gifts for the next 11 years because we know it's coming? So does the farewell tour start 11 years early?
Yes.
That's insane. That's insane. Good for him, though. He's going to have so much stuff he won't even know what to do with it.
Power move.
I'm in.
I actually kind of respect it. I'm not going to lie to
you. You have to. You have to.
All right, everybody. He's Steve Buchanan. Great job.
Thank you, man.
Love working with you.
Love being here.
Tell everybody where they can find you.
Yeah, so most importantly on Twitter at SBuchanan24. That's where you can find all my Major League Baseball, NFL content, best bets, and all that good stuff. And then, of course, I work for DraftKings. DraftKings Network is the website where we put all of our content on there, so we'd love for you to visit there, get some information for bets and all that. But again, Joe, as always, appreciate you having me on. It's 5 minutes away. Anytime you're at Sylvan Street Grill, I am here because this calamari, by the way, is excellent. There's a plug.
And the compliments to the chef, Cody, who has texted me to let us know that is the Cajun sauce.
The Cajun. I am in on the Cajun sauce.
There you go. Alrighty, Steve Buchanan, everybody. Thank you for hanging out with us.
Thank you.
I know we didn't do a lot of sports, but you know what?
Who cares?
You're a good sport.
When we talk about water parks, I'm in, man. I'm in. Even if we don't even know what they are.
Buffet Water Park. Coming to an area near you.
The Great Wolf Lodge Buffet. Love it. My favorite.
All right, he's Steve Buchanan. Everybody go check out his work. We'll take a quick break. I'm Joe Murray. You're listening to 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Don't go anywhere. There's more Joe Murray. On the way on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
All right, back here, 98.5 The Sports Hub. I'm Joe Murray. Shout out to Steve Buchanan from DraftKings. Excellent job. Fun stuff. Just wanted to look at the bracket real quick. Alabama. Whoa, Nelly. They dropped 106 on BYU tonight. I took the over. How about Florida right now? Up 56-74. Bing, bang, bum, boom, boom. Uh-oh. We have trouble has just walked in. So, Skaz, how you doing back there today? Hey, it's Glenn. That's Glenn. What do we got back there, bro? Look at this. Glenn with the stacks. No, how you doing? Thank you, Glenn. Wakefield. Glenn Wakefield with the snacks. Dude, look at these snacks, baby. White cheddar popcorn. Look at the, I love the party mix, everybody. Yes. Thank you, sir. I appreciate you. Thank you. The new kettle corn, too? I see it, bro. All right, thank you. I'm on the air, but thank you. I just shouted you out. You're live. On the air. Thank you, bud. How's it going back there, Skaz?
Hey, Joe. We're doing all right back here. Doesn't seem like we're quite as busy as you. Yeah, you got guests coming left and right, but all good back here. Watching Alabama take care of BYU. Sox got a big win today. Looks like Florida's going to move on. Your favorites are holding on, Joe.
I told you to go all favorites tonight. We're going to bring on Brian Barrett in a little bit. He's here. He also lives down the street, too. I'm just getting everybody off their couch tonight. What else is, guys? Did you want to hit on the Stephen A. thing real quick?
I mean, Joe, me and you are Stephen A. guys. We
always.
We like Stephen A., but I have to say, this week, Stephen A. has looked like a gigantic tool. I mean, and that, I say that almost most painfully because we have lauded Stephen A. so many times on this show, but I think just a really bad week for Stephen A. I get it. He needs attention. I get it. He's needy. I get that he has, put himself in a position where he wants to be at the center of everything at ESPN and in the sports world. But he's just blatantly lying, and especially the stuff today where he's taking shots at LeBron, and he went on air today and said LeBron wasn't at Kobe's funeral when there's multiple reports from the Washington Post, the LA Times. There's video of Diana Taurasi mentioning LeBron and looking at him during her speech. And it was well known that LeBron asked for the cameras not to be on him. And I know that may surprise some people around Boston, but I just think for Stephen A. to take that route when this whole thing is about Stephen A. going out of his way to crap on Bronny James, unfairly so, because Bronny James was the 55th pick in the NBA draft, and we've done the exercise. You couldn't name the 10th pick in this past year's NBA draft, who has been absolutely awful this year. I'm team LeBron on this one, I guess, if I had to pick a side. I just think a really kind of embarrassing week for Stephen A. Smith.
Gotta tell you, I think I feel what you're saying. Like, Stephen A., you just got paid. LeBron checked your ass. Move on. Right?
Yeah, you just can't give it up.
Take your money and go home.
Just take the L. No when to move on.
Take the L. I mean, Perk blocked LeBron from his phone.
Yeah, I'm sure that really hurt LeBron's feelings. I'm sure LeBron James, when he's looking for, basketball advice or analysis, he goes to Kendrick Perkins, the guy who, couldn't stop criticizing the Celtics last year and has, taken numerous shots at LeBron. I'm sure LeBron was really, really upset to hear that.
When's the last time you've been Team LeBron?
I don't have this disdain for LeBron that a lot of Celtics fans do. I think LeBron's an all-time great. I think he's done a remarkable job of being in the public eye since he was 15 years old, 16 years old, and his only real scandal being the decision, him, making a press conference to decide he was going to go to Miami. So I think LeBron's a tremendous basketball player. He has some big-time tool tendencies off the court. But, yeah, I'm definitely Team LeBron in this one.
Well, Skaz, no, that's okay. Tito's, it's okay. Come over here. The Tito's people were handing out Jell-O shots, but they realized I was working on the air and I couldn't take them. And she was very apologetic. But you know what? It's okay. So Skaz, as you were talking, I just want to let you know that Jell-O shops. Oh, you got sunglasses too? All right, they're handing out sunglasses and Jell-O shots here. Hey. Oh, it's a Tito's Cosmo. Okay. Well, I hope you enjoy that. And a bandana, Tommy? All right, cool. Well, we're here at Sylvan Street Grill. Alabama has advanced to the Elite Eight. Brian Barrett is in the house. Let's get some Red Sox reaction. 162-0. We'll do that next here on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Sports Hub headlines.
Joe Murray, we're live from the Sylvan Street Grill. Street Team Joe is wearing a bandana with John. They look like what do these guys look like? The 98.5 bandana boys. All right, we got those here. That's right. Tommy from Lynn's here. The Be a Man guy is here. Be a man. Wear a bandana. We're here. Topher's here. And Brian Barrett from The Ringer is here. Hello, Brian.
How are you, Joe?
Did you know that this you walked into all this tonight?
I was not prepared.
Yeah. Yeah. So you did a podcast. You do a podcast for The Ringer.
Yep.
Who'd you have on?
Milliken, man. 95 The Sports Hub.
Yes.
Yep. Right after the game.
I wonder if he had his pants on or off.
Oh, because of the win?
Yeah.
I was pretty fired up, too, I got to say. That was a really fun game, right? Like,
I thought it was I watched the finish here at the bar, and everybody was cheering.
Yeah, it was cool because, first of all, like, whenever they put the pitch clock in a few years ago, the pace is so much better. And now that there are actual expectations for the team, I feel like for the first time since, 2019, after they had won the World Series, come back the next year, obviously we know how that went. But we could talk ourselves into the Red Sox over the past few years, even if we didn't truly believe it. But they went out and they got the bat in Alex Bregman, even though he didn't have a great day today. And they traded for the best pitcher, in my opinion, on the market. So there were legitimate expectations, and we actually got a really fun game. Abreu hitting home runs. You got Duran swiping bags, Story swiping bags. Reliever Garrett is back. Whitlock, 2 innings out of Whitlock out of the bullpen. I'm like, imagine there was this guy in 2021 for the Red Sox that used to come out of the bullpen and give you 2 innings. The Red Sox had a guy like that, and now they have a guy like that again. Similar names.
Whitlock out of the bullpen. He even said something recently that he wants to be the dog.
Yeah.
Out of the bullpen, right? I'm just trying to show the bandana boys. Sorry. No, you're right. The bullpen was very impressive today, right? We'll get into the crochet stuff, but Whitlock's 2 innings. You know, the home run by Abreu to tie things up. Like, you get to Chapman. Were you any nerves with Chapman in a non-save situation for you?
The only thing I was nervous about is just the walks, right? That's been his thing. You go back to last season, among relievers, he's last in Major League Baseball in walk percentage. Now, over the last couple of outings in the spring, he was barely walking anyone. And if it was anybody else, I'd say this is no big deal, but it's the fact that Chapman, that's been the one issue with him throughout his career is he walks the ballpark. But I actually liked the fact that he came in the 8th inning. It was kind of funny because Cora said he's the closer for now, but that doesn't mean I may use him differently because, hey, if in the 8th inning, Corey Seager is leading off the inning, I'm going to bring in Chapman. I want a lefty on lefty. And it happened. Like, literally what he said happened. Corey Seager came up in the 8th, so he handed it over to Chapman, and then Slayton's there to close things out. And Slayton's nasty. He was awesome for them last year until he got banged up, and he was worn down. They had to shut him down for a while. But I feel like in the long run, he's going to be the closer, and Chapman's going to be the matchup lefty out of the bullpen. The only thing I worry about is, all right, so Whitlock threw 2 innings today. You still have Weissert, who's really good out of the bullpen. My concern is like the whole Hendricks situation, where he wasn't good to begin spring. Then he got his velocity back, and then he wasn't feeling well, and now he's injured again. I mean, so you're down an arm when it comes to that. I feel like you have enough depth right now in that starting rotation, especially the way Richard Fitz threw the ball in spring training as well. But the bullpen and the catching, those are my 2 concerns with the team right now. Okay, I didn't notice the catching today. Well, it's more so, not specifically today, but if you look at
long term.
Yeah, Connor Wong is legitimately one of the worst guys in the sport framing the ball.
Yeah.
Like, he's one of the worst. So that would be, and there's not like Navarez, like, it's not like you have a lot of backup there. That would be like my concern with the team is
Connor Wong had a hit today.
He did.
Wow.
He did. Big hit, actually. Yeah.
You're right. Is he the most solid, framing, I know is what it's been known for, but it's funny, when I saw that Christian Campbell video today of him making the team Veritek, I know why he was there because of the Georgia Tech.
Right.
But I believe Veritek's got a lot more to do now with catchers, pitchers, and game calling, I believe.
Yeah, his title's like the game coordinator now. So he is involved in a lot of different stuff. It's funny, though, like Campbell, I thought his debut couldn't have started worse. Like he almost boots a ball. He's able to make the throw to get the runner out, but his first at bat against Eovaldi, and look, he's facing Nate Eovaldi, who we all know is an unbelievable postseason pitcher, and he's been a really good starting pitcher for an extended period of time now. So take that with a grain of salt, or give the kid a little bit of a break. But they throw him a curveball. He throws him a curveball, and it's like by Christian Campbell, and he swings. It's like almost like he didn't expect it to break. And then later on, he has this awful swing at a splitter. But then after that, he takes a walk. And then he has his first base hit, which got that rally started there, where Abreu ended up hitting the home run a couple of batters later. So, and there was also another play in the field where I think he could have made the play. But overall, for your debut, not too bad. I think there's going to be some growing pains there. He did not have the best spring.
Yep.
But from day one, he was going to be the second baseman. Like, he was anointed. He was given the job, right? If we're talking about on merit, Meyer should have won the job, or David Hamilton should have won the job. But I understand why they want him in that position. The question is going to be, when does Meyer get his opportunity? And we'll see. Like, Trevor Story's been known to get hurt. Knock on wood, if anybody else gets hurt. Like, I think the reason they're cross-training Meyer is, all right, if Bregman has an IL trip in there, right, at some point, a hammy, whatever it is, then Meyer can come up and play third. I don't think Rafi's ever going back to the field.
What was the other concern that you had? I know you said catching, and what was the
Just like the depth of the bullpen. I like Weissert a lot. Obviously, I love Slayton. I like the Chapman pickup. I thought the one critique you could have had on the Red Sox in the offseason is it felt like they needed one more elite bullpen arm. Now, they brought in a couple of guys to, like, give an opportunity to. Adam Ottavino was in camp. I'm so glad that they didn't keep Ottavino. He's the worst guy in Major League Baseball from a numbers perspective, holding runners on. Like, it's a track meet when he gets out there, so he can only be out there in certain situations. But overall, you look around the American League, and the Yankees won today, although Devin Williams almost blew that against his former team. If you look at them right now, Garrett Cole's hurt. They replaced Juan Soto, one of the best hitters in the game, with Cody Bellinger, who hasn't been the same player for a couple of years now. And then you look at the fact that Baltimore, they won today, but they didn't keep Corbin Burns, and Grayson Rodriguez is already dealing with an elbow situation there. Toronto's a mess, and the Rays aren't really that good of a team, and McClanahan's already banged up. And even if you look across the American League, I think Texas is a really good team. Other than that, like, how many real good teams are there in the... Like, Houston's not the same team. They lost Bregman in the offseason. They traded Kyle Tucker, their second-best hitter besides Yordan Alvarez, right? So the American League is just wide open. I'm not trying to overreact to one game. But if you get in, who the hell knows? Like, this team should win more than 90 games.
Maybe this game's the difference of them being a wild card team to whatever. I think today was big, and you just brought something up that my leadoff take was MLB today struggled a bit, but the Red Sox, the excitement's there. Like, I know MLB TV going down and all that was great.
It's a joke.
But here locally, we saw it, we watched it. Tomorrow we'll get a night game to watch. We didn't see the Stars perform necessarily today, but tomorrow I expect big days out of potentially Devers, Bregman, etc. We'll get into that on the other side. We'll break real quick. I want to get your thoughts on Crochet's day. I got a thought on him. He's a big boy, first off.
He
big
is
boy.
Absolutely massive.
He's got an ass. What I mean by an ass, everybody just looked at me when I said that. He's a big boy, meaning I'm wondering if he can give you a little bit more. So we'll get into that on the other side. And also, Wilyer Abreu did something today that hasn't been done since 1920. We'll tell you what that is. Brian Barrett from The Ringer here live from the Sylvan Street Grill in Peabody. I'm Joe Murray, 98.5 The Sports Hub.
More Joe Murray coming up on the Sports Hub.
Right back here at 98.5 The Sports Hub. We're live from the Sylvan Street Grill. It's funny, Jerry, who's been taking care of us all night, I want to shout him out. The bartender here at Sylvan Street. I go, hey, this is Brian Barrett. And he just walks, I know this guy.
I frequent here, Joe.
Oh, here it comes. Here it comes. The Toll House Pie, baby. Yeah. Sorry, Brian. I got to just let everyone see this for a minute.
Oh, you're all good.
There it is. The Toll House Pie. Let's have a bite of that, Joe. Give me a. No, listen, I've had this pie a bunch of times. Don't worry about it. I'll just dip it right in there, baby. The Toll House Pie here is a pie with Toll House cookies with vanilla ice cream on top, topped with chocolate syrup. 7-8. All right, yeah. See, I said a 7-8 because it's a great pie. I don't want to overrate the pie. It's a great pie. It's something I always get when I come here. It's what you needed. Thank you. All right. The Ringer. That's where Brian Barrett works. He's a statistician. Are you a statistician?
I wouldn't say statistician. I do like stats, but
what's your role? What's your title? Content creator?
I guess. I don't know. Host? Podcast host?
Podcast host of the Off the Pike podcast, which you had Tyler Milliken on today. So I want to get into crochet, but did you know, I saw this today from Opta Stats. Wilyer Abreu today reached base every time up. He drove in 4 runs or more. Scored or drove in all of his team's runs.
That's insane.
Hit a game-tying home run. Hit a go-ahead home run in the 9th or later. No other Major League player has done that in a single game since the RBI became official in 1920.
That's wild. And he did all this after he lost 20 pounds from a GI infection. Barely had any spring training, and he comes out here and he has this incredible game. I was actually, and I know this is going to sound boring, I was impressed with the walk because remember last year they would platoon him all the time and he wouldn't get at bats against left-handed pitching. He fell behind 1-2 in that count. 6 pitches later, he walked. So that was a pretty impressive thing from Abreu as well. I hope he gets a chance, and I think he will now, to play every day. I mean, why not at this point? You're not going to platoon him, right? It doesn't make sense to me. Now, I know, Ref Snyder's going to get at-bats against right-handed hitters. Against left-handed pitchers because, over the past few years, he's been one of the best guys. It's not hyperbolic in terms of batting average on base percentage against lefties. But, man, I think you got to let some of the kids play. And I know Abreu's a little bit older than these other, prospects, if you will, but I'd like to see him play every day. He's clearly... Also, how about, did you see the juke he had? That was incredible. Berger only got to second base because he faked like he was going to catch that ball. That was unbelievable. We know he won a Gold Glove last year. I just think he's a really good player. I was kind of disappointed in the offseason when we heard all this stuff is he was in trade rumors, right? And I understand, all right, you got Roman Anthony coming up. You didn't know what position Christian Campbell's going to play. You have Duran. I know you have Rafaela. I think Abreu is a better player. I know Rafaela is an outstanding defensive player. Well, so is Abreu, and the upside of his bat is a lot higher than the upside of Rafaela's bat. And I know Rafaela's under contract, but I really like him. I think he's a really good player.
My biggest takeaway from the day was it was the people that I didn't expect to come through to win the game today. Abreu, nope. Is he lost in the shuffle with all the big young 3 and Ceddanne Rafaela now going to center and, Campbell and Meyer and Anthony and just, it's all about the future, but he's a part of that future. It's just that I think we tend to forget about him. Plus, he was absent for a bit, which you mentioned with the injury. So him, Campbell, Slayton, all those guys Whitlock, all those guys won the game when Devers and Bregman and even Crochet wasn't necessarily on his game.
Yeah, the Whitlock thing's huge, too, because you look at his velocity, it's right where he was in 2021. 95.7 on average. It was 95.8 that year, and it's been down every year since. But Bregman, I thought, had a couple of nice at-bats. He lined one right at the right fielder. Casas, not so much. And there was one, actually, that Casas, anybody else on the team beats that out. But, man, Rafi looked awful at the plate. Rafi swung at a curveball that I think hit him in the foot. He had a couple bad swings. What he finished with 3. The top of the order was the top 4 guys. 1 of 16, the only hit being Duran, and they struck out 7 times. And really, give Eovaldi credit. That top of the 6th inning, he gets Duran, Bregman, and Devers strikes out the side the 3rd time through the order. I thought Eovaldi was awesome in this game, too. Like, first time through the order, throwing a ton of curveballs, which is like his 4th most used pitch last season. But the guy that I would say at the top of the lineup I'd be the most concerned about is just the adjustment that Rafi makes. It's a weird situation when you've never done it before, right? Like, what are you doing in between at-bats? Normally, all right, I strike out, I'm going to go play third base for a couple of innings. Now it's like, all right, do I go back into the clubhouse? Do I look at video? It's a weird thing. Like, I remember, if you go back to 2020, when JD Martinez, remember it during COVID, they made these rules like, hey, you can't be huddled around people because, the whole thing with COVID, like 6 feet or whatever. So he couldn't go back into the clubhouse and watch the video. And like JD Martinez is a robot, so that was sort of his process, is he go back and watch the video, and he sucked in 2020. And he kept talking about the video like 5 times. And then we saw the next year, he was actually validated because JD was awesome in 2021, the year they made it back to the ALCS. So I do wonder what the routine is that Rafi's going to come up with. I know he talked to Ortiz, but it's just a big adjustment. And not to mention he was late, like getting to spring training in terms of he's been dealing with these shoulder stuff. So I'm slightly worried about him just at the start of the season, but look, the guy's capable of hitting 30 home runs. We've seen it 3 times.
Skaz and I are going to give him the night. But it reminded me of Manny in New York. It reminded me of Manny of New York when he took 3 pitches right down the middle of the plate, when he didn't care about playing.
Oh.
I don't think I'm being Sports Radio Joe. Just stirring the pot here. But you can't sit here and tell me that Rafael Devers looked like Rafael Devers today.
No, and there's credence to it because we all know he was upset about it. It wasn't theoretical. When he had his first press conference of spring training, they asked Rafael Devers, what will you do if they tell you to DH? And he said, no, I won't. No, I won't DH. And he obviously isn't happy about the situation, but I do think there has to be some accountability on his part, right? Because, all right, nobody since the start of 2019 has made more errors than Rafael Devers. Like, this didn't come out of nowhere. Like, if you were playing slightly below average third base defense, this probably wouldn't even be a conversation. But you've been so bad at that position, it makes total sense to take you off of third base. So now, look, you're making north of $300 million, okay? Be a professional about it and be one of the best hitters in the sport, which, like, I'm not overreacting to this one game today where he looked awful at the plate, but if he gets off to a slow start, I think we'll look at it and say, all right, maybe it is something to do with not playing third base. And I also think he could use it as a crutch, right? Like, hey, I'm not used to doing this type of thing. But I don't want to make a mountain out of a molehill right now. Like, let's see after the first couple of weeks of the season. Because he's still one of the most talented hitters in the game. There's no doubt about it.
You don't want to lose him.
Yeah. Last year, before he ends up with the shoulder situation, he had 28 home runs at that point. He had, won the rest of the season because he was banged up. And that's another thing I think you could sell to Rafi. Every year at the end of the season, he's dealing with something. Even going back to 2021 where they made the ALCS, he's hitting a home run against the Astros basically one-handed. Remember how, like, that one of his arms kept coming off the back as his shoulder? Maybe he'll stay healthier this year.
All right, Brian Barrett's hanging out. He's from The Ringer. I do want to get into some Celtic stuff. I also want to get your thoughts on Crochet as well. Skaz is back at our Waltham studios. He's going to get us caught up in the headlines. Just real quick, I wanted to mention that Chance McMillan out for Texas Tech tonight. So I'm
on Arkansas.
Ooh, Calipari. Refuse to lose?
Yeah, refuse to lose. Dana Dingle, Dante Bright. Let's go. Marcus Camby, Padilla, Travieso.
Oh, Dana Dingle. Who else? Lou Rowe, Marcus Camby.
Dante Bright.
Did you already say
Padilla?
Carmelo Travieso?
Yeah, I said Travieso.
Okay.
And
Edgar Padilla.
There
was another guard. He got kicked out of school, though. Williams?
I don't remember. I remember, like, the year before the Final Four, they had Lou Rowe.
Oh, Lou Rowe played for the Pistons.
Yeah, he's a beast.
First pick in the second round.
Wow.
They had him and Bill Curley.
Dude, I have a Camby UMass jersey. Still have it.
I have the refuse to lose shorts somewhere.
That was a good slogan. What was the movie that Bruiser Flint was in? Remember that?
Was it Blue Chips?
No, it wasn't. Sixth Man.
Oh, yes.
Washington played UMass. Remember that?
I do.
UMass is like the program in that movie, which is kind of crazy.
All right, no commercials here. Skaz going to get you caught up in everything, and then we got the final hour of the show here live from Silver Street Grill.
From the Town Fair Time Studios, this is your home for every Patriots game.
Look into the end zone, try to keep the play alive. Falling down, he throws to the end zone. It's caught. He got it. Touchdown.
WBZ-FM at HD Boston. 98.5, the Sports Hub, a Beasley Media Group station. Essential Sports Hub headline, presented by Celsius Energy Drinks.
Red Sox winners on opening day, 5-2 over Nathan Eovaldi, a former Red Sox. The Texas Rangers now. Wilyer Abreu, the big star, with 2 home runs, one to tie the game at 2 and another in the ninth to make it 5-2. Aroldis Chapman gets the win. No decision for Garrett Crochet in his Sox debut. 5 innings, 4 strikeouts, and 2 earned runs. The Bruins, 6-2 losers to the Ducks last night, while the Celtics, a 132-102 win over Phoenix, led by Kristaps Porzingis' 30 points. The Celtics' 7th straight win on the road. At the Sweet 16, the favorites are, out on top early. Florida with a big win over Maryland, 87-71. Alabama all over BYU, 113-88. Arizona and Duke just tipping off now. And Arkansas and Texas Tech on at 10:20, as Joe just mentioned. Chance McMillan out for that game. Some big news. And then locally, well, I shouldn't say locally, but some local teams at the Frozen Four. BU with a 8-3 win over Ohio State earlier today. And UMass 0-0 against Minnesota. A little under 10 minutes to go in the first period. Also in the NHL, Sidney Crosby set a record today. He becomes the first player with 20 straight point-per-game seasons. And some unfortunate news out of the Patriots. Former Patriot and Super Bowl champion Matt Stevens passed away earlier today at the age of 51. Sports Hub headlines are brought to you by Awaken 180 Weight Loss, the official weight loss program of the Boston Red Sox. Make this season your season with the solution for weight loss, awaken180weightloss.com. Joe Murray as your final headline of the night in 30 minutes.
Boston's best sports talk. There's an app for that. Download the Sports Hub app for loads of stuff. Absolutely free. Connect with the shows, get podcasts, and more. Get it where you get your apps. Or at 985sportshub.com.
All right, back here at 98.5, the Sports Hub. Final hour here. Skaz rocking the headlines tonight, my man. Doing a solid job back there, bud. Hey, can we tell the audience you're going to be working the Celtics game this weekend?
Yeah, Joe, just getting my feet wet for my first Celtics hosting duties on Saturday night. I'll be doing pre-halftime and post for the Celtics Spurs game Saturday night on ROR.
What's more difficult for you, that or getting me to pay attention?
No, Joe, I think you've done a good job. I know it is not an enviable position you're in tonight. You are the mayor when you go out to places like this. You are the king of the Sylvan Street Grill. So I'm very understanding. I know what it's like. You're a well-liked man, Joe. It's good. It's good to see. The people love you.
Well, they have brought out the Toll House pie.
Yeah, now you're just rubbing it in, Joe.
I have destroyed the Toll House pie. It was very good. Yes, guys, I know. I feel like when I'm here, we should send you guys something. Maybe we could coordinate that at
little
some
gift
point.
basket.
Brian Barrett's here, everybody. He's from The Ringer. We'll do some Celtic stuff in a little bit here.
It was a fun game last night.
It was. Just Garrett Crochet's day. All right, here's my take on Crochet.
Hold on, Joe.
What?
You teased earlier that Wilyer Abreu had not done something that since 1920.
Yes. I paid it off, though. Did you not hear it?
See, I didn't hear it.
No, not the host. We're trying to do a bit.
When the producer's not listening.
No, we're trying to do a bit when the listeners aren't listening. Because now they don't listen. The other night, people were pissed about the Diggs signing, making up all this stuff that just wasn't true. And I'm like, you're just pissed, dude. That's not right.
Every time we have one of those now, I just think of Jake and him just waiting.
So we had a Jake who works with us. I kept teasing something. And he goes, when's Joe going to pay off the tease? In every segment, I just go. And he goes, when? Finally. So the last segment of the night, he goes, Can you remind Joe to pay off that tease? He was hanging on to that tease for a long time. But yeah, what Wilyer Abreu did, for those that don't know, he became the first person since the RBI era to reach base every time up, drive in 4 runs, score or drive in all of his team's runs, hit a game-tying home run, a go-ahead home run in the 9th or later. No other player has ever done that since 1920. It's pretty good.
That's insane. But the more you think about it, like, when you name all those things, it makes sense that only one guy has done it. A game-winning home run, a game-tying home run, responsible for all the runs. Like, it's ridiculous.
Crochet, big boy. That's a big boy out there.
Yeah.
So people worry about his arm. A big guy like him, I think he might be able to use his body more than his arm. This would be me if I never played at the major league level, but just from afar, if I was going against him, I'd look fastball cutter every time. I think that you would notice the changeup, or I think he can throw a sinker. I think he can. I don't think he does enough. But if I'm a hitter, dude, I'm sitting fastball. I think that's why he struggles. I think he's a fastball guy. The third pitch is weak.
Well, it's interesting because you mentioned the two-seamer, the sinker. He only started throwing it like at the end of last season. So he threw 8% of them today. But to your point, he threw 49% cutters. Last year he's 28.5%. He threw his four-seamer 34% of the time. Last season that was 53.7%. He threw 8% sweepers. He does have a good sweeper. He just didn't throw it a lot. But today he was a two-pitch pitcher essentially. He threw his four-seamer and he threw his cutter. And that was pretty much it. But the thing about it is, it's not like he got hit hard. He gave up like the one to Higashioka that went deep to center field there. But other than that, he didn't give up a lot of loud contact. And he got 15 swinging strikes. So he got 15 out of his, he ended up his whiff percentage, which is just the percentage of whiffs you have at the balls you swing at. He was over 29%. And there's only 11 guys over that number last year. He was number one in baseball at 33.1%. So he has enough hit and miss stuff. It was just kind of weird because he's pretty good in terms of walk rate, which 5.5% last year, which is 15th out of the 80 starters that threw at least 140 innings. So he's pretty good when it comes to that. And today early, it just felt like he didn't really have his command, where he had the 2 walks, and really that's when he got burned in this game. But I think the one thing you would take away from it is he clearly didn't have his command. He still was able to get swing and miss stuff, and he still only allowed the 2 runs. Like, that was pretty good considering he didn't have his best stuff. I think, like, this is the low bar for him. Like, I felt like if you watch, his stuff was still electric, right? It's just like he didn't locate. That was his issue in this game. So, and that has never been a problem for him. He's had such a weird career. Like, how often do you see a guy that never pitched in the minor leagues? It just doesn't happen. He comes out of college and he is immediately pitching in the postseason in 2020 for Chicago because it's a COVID year. They have no minors. And then a couple of years later, he ends up with the Tommy John situation. So he's really, last year was his first year getting an opportunity to really start. So, and he's like still learning how to use different pitches. He's 25 and he's 2 years away from free agency because they started his clock so early in Chicago. It's just weird. I was obviously not, I don't want to say disappointed. I was underwhelmed with what he was able to do today in terms of just like, I was hoping for 6 innings. Some of us were over 6.5 strikeouts. We had that bet that we didn't hit. But overall, I think for a first outing, it was fine. The one thing I did really like about him, you see how pissed he was when Cora told him he was done? I'm like, that's what I want to see. When my pitcher is pissed that I'm taking him out of the game.
I think it was the right move.
It was.
Evaldi threw 87, had 9 strikeouts. You mentioned location, though. I am hesitant if he's a 2-pitch pitcher. I am.
I think he can be a 3. Like, his sinker is plenty good enough, and his sweeper is plenty good enough.
Yeah. What is that sweeper? What is that? Is that a slide? What is that?
Yeah, it's a
slurve?
Like a little more horizontal break than a slider.
Yeah.
They only started calling these pitches sweepers like 3 or 4 years ago. And the Red Sox threw them more than anybody in the sport last year. When we're talking about the Tanner Houcks of the world, you look at some of the guys in the bullpen, the Weiserts, of course, Slayton, who's got nasty stuff. The Red Sox love to spin it.
Do that? Remember he was trying a different the bullet and all that other stuff.
He throws it. Yeah, he's trying different things, but he throws a sweeper. He was mainly fastball today, changeup. But the two-seamer, I should say, the two-seam fastball. But if you look at that strikeout he had on Simeon, the thing about Whitlock is he's just throwing so many fastballs in the strike zone that guys, and he does a great job when he has the velocity, keeping it up in the zone. He threw Simeon a sweeper that was nowhere near the plate. It was in the other batter's box, and he swung at it. And this is like an elite-level player in Simeon. Like, multiple years he's finished in the top 5 in WAR. And Whitlock made him look foolish. But I'm excited that they have a frontline starter like an ace, because we haven't had this in a couple of years.
And listen, they're going to need one if they want to play past October, that's for sure. It was one game, and I want to see more of them. I'm just worried about that third pitch. The sweeper, it's there. I saw him do it on first pitch a couple of times, too, to, like, set it up. That's my only concern about him. Long term, does he have that third pitch?
Well, and I think, too, part of it was there was a lot of righties in that lineup. There was, of course, like Seager is arguably their best player, but there was a lot of righties in that lineup, so maybe that's part of it. And, like, his cutter's really good. Like, he gets a lot of swings and misses on the cutter, so that's maybe part of the reason.
All right, well, let's do some Celtics talk. I'm in on that. I just saw that the Pacers scored 162 points tonight.
Who'd they play?
Washington.
Oh, I watched them play last night. That is such a poor, like, Rick Carlisle, who's won an NBA championship. I couldn't, because I watch the Pacers because I don't want the Celtics to play them again.
Me either.
Because even though it was a sweep, I felt like that was the toughest series because of that. Their half-court offense is, like, so chaotic and it's difficult to defend. But I'm watching the Lakers game, and they're up by, Halliburton hits a big shot to put them up by a point, and then the Lakers miss a shot, Pacers get the rebound. They had taken Halliburton out of the game for defensive purposes, and then they get the rebound. They don't call a timeout and get their best player back on the court. It made no sense, and then the Lakers score on the other end. But, yeah, 160 points is just ridiculous. But I feel like being the 2 seed is better for the Celtics. The Knicks can't play with them. I mean, they can't. I mean, Karl Anthony Towns, he can't play defense against the Celtics. Brunson is still dealing with his ankle situation where it's clearly going to be a terrible sprain. It's amazing Tatum's out there doing his workout last night prior to the game. But the Knicks have no chance against the Celtics.
All right.
And the Pacers are tough.
Pacers concern me. Let's do some Celtics talk because someone sent me a note today saying that the Celtics are better without Jason Tatum, so I have some stats on that we'll share coming up here. On the other side, Brian Barrett from The Ringer is here. You're listening to 98.5 The Sports.
Don't go anywhere. There's more Joe Murray.
back here at 98.5 The Sports Hub. Hey, our new time slot. This is our second day now at 7 o'clock. So we're now 7 to 11. And so when we have live shows, we're here till 11. And game nights till midnight. So Red Sox win. We reacted to that. You certainly can get in on that. I wanted to do some Celtics as well. We have a fellow waiting on hold. I might as well get to him. His name's Nolan. He wants to do Bruins talk for a minute. What's up, Nolan?
Hey, fellas. Long-time listener, first-time caller. I just want to talk about the Bruins tank job that's going on. The fact that Vinny Lettieri is getting NHL minutes is absolute blasphemy. It goes against everything that the NHL stands for. But, with this team, Mark Kastelik, he just fires up the guard and he fires up me, and it just keeps me watching. And I got a little crazy take for you guys. I'm interested to hear what you think. But the Bruins, they're going to sneak into the wild card.
I'm sorry, Nolan. That was it. Just give me 30 seconds. Just entertain this idea for a minute.
No.
You know where it's going. You know where I'm going, Skaz.
They've been playing well lately.
The Bruins are so soft. What I mean by soft is they had to have the right coach and then fired the coach and then get the right and then another guy. Torts, baby, torts. No, but I'd love it. Like, for sports radio's sake.
It'd be very entertaining.
I might even go down there. Like, if Torts was the coach, I might get some audio before the games.
I would have liked to hear his reaction to the Swayman-Zadorov thing. What he thought about it.
Swayman, letting a ref hold him back. Nobody's holding me back. Anyways, who's the best player on the Celtics right? Who's playing the best right now?
Tatum.
I'd counter you, Kristaps Porzingis.
Oh, that's a good point. I mean, I was looking to actually have it in front of me. 26 games since he came back the second time, so in January. He's 20.3 points, 50.4% from the floor, 43.6% from deep on 5.7 attempts, 7.2 rebounds, 2.2 assists, 1.7 blocks. He has been tremendous. Like, they didn't even have this version of Porzingis last year. It's crazy to think about, right? He goes down in that Miami series. He plays essentially game one, has the 20 points. You probably loved the WWE entrance that he had for that game, right? Like,
oh, yeah.
He did it at the beginning of this season when he came back, or whenever he came back this season too. But it's a good point because that's a button they didn't have last year. But, I mean, Tatum basically post-All-Star break is like 27, 8, and 7. Like, he's playing the best basketball of his career.
I agree with you. I almost don't want to play him the rest of the way either. But they're in this groove right now. I do think Tatum got hurt at the worst time. He's been playing so well, etc. Just down the stretch here. What do they do? Like, I want to see Shireman play more because I wonder if they got something like a late bloomer there, Because they're going to need somebody else. So at some point, it's whether to waste a minute, fouls, something. I just wonder if it's him or Craig. Maybe that's why he's here.
Well, especially with Shireman, too, it's Hauser insurance for the years to come. Because Hauser's going to make like $10 million. It's going to cost you like $80 million in luxury tax just to keep him on the roster. He had the little Rondo thing last night. You see that? Like the fake behind the back?
I said Jason Williams, like white chocolate, because I thought it looked like it.
Yeah.
But it was a Rondo, I'll give you that.
Yeah, he said shout out to Rondo. But somebody tweeted the Jason Williams thing, and then he said shout out to at Rajon Rondo. And Rondo's like, I think he's on Doc Rivers' staff with the Bucks. But yeah, Shireman, I've been impressed with him. So yeah, I'd like to see more minutes from him. The thing that really aggravated me this week, and I'm not saying this is a cause and effect type thing, but there are no back-to-backs in the playoffs, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. They don't play back-to-backs in the playoffs. So what the Celtics are doing right now is Joe Mazzulla is ramping them up for the playoffs. So the games they're playing like real minutes. Now, last night notwithstanding, most of the guys played around 29 to 31 minutes when we're talking about the big guys, like the big-time contributors. But here's what really irritated me. Derek White and Jason Tatum played 3 out of 4 nights. Derek White and Jason Tatum played on Sunday, and then they played on Monday. You're getting your bodies ready for the postseason. You're locked into the number 2 seed. Why would Derek White or Jason Tatum be playing a back-to-back? There's literally no benefit in that, right? Because of the fact that you don't have to do that in the postseason. So that makes no sense even for training your body. You're not training your body to play back-to-back games. So Jason Tatum, that's a freak accident, right? By the way, it's just a sloppy, ridiculous closeout, goofy closeout by Sabonis. It's just sloppy. But the point being is, you do risk yourself for injury if you continue to pile up your minutes. And if there's a fatigue situation in the playoffs, I'm going to look back to situations like when Joe Mazzulla's playing Jason Tatum 17 straight minutes in a random game. Like, it just doesn't make sense to do it. And so down the stretch of the season, nobody should be playing 3 or 4. Nobody should be playing back-to-backs. And they should just be, like, alternating guys. There's no reason to be playing all these guys that amount of minutes. It just doesn't make sense. And I don't know if it's, hey, Joe gives them a ton of freedom, and Tatum loves to play. I mean, we all know the Charlotte quote by now, right? And Tatum's a great player on the road. But somebody needs to get to Joe and say, hey, Joe, we're getting ready for the playoffs. Derek White and Jason Tatum aren't playing tonight in Sacramento in a meaningless game. We don't want them playing. Don't play them in the game. Somebody's got to do that. And I hope that Tatum rolling his ankle was sort of like the awakening for him. I even thought it was stupid to bring Jalen back on Monday. Why wouldn't you just give him another day? Wait until the Wednesday game.
And the Jalen thing about the MVP, the NBA awards, and so he's not going to be all NBA this year, right?
I don't think he would have been anyway, based on merit. Like, Jalen's having one of his worst statistical seasons, like from a percentage standpoint.
I think he's been better second half, but yeah. Statistically, I agree with you. For the person who said that Jason Tatum or the Celtics look better without Tatum, 5-14 in games versus teams with winning records when he doesn't play. So that's 5 wins in 8 seasons. They're not better without Tatum. I would like to just kill that.
No, in the post All-Star break, their offense is, before last night, it was like 8 points per 100 possessions worse when Tatum's off the court compared to off the court. We've seen this for years. The Tatum on-off numbers, they're better now over the past few years just because the team's better, but Tatum legitimately plays point guard for them now. He's their point guard. He's legitimately their point guard, and the reason they won the NBA Finals last year is because he played point guard on offense and he played center on defense. He guarded the centers for the Mavericks. Like the Mavericks, the previous series, they tore apart the Minnesota Timberwolves because they're running pick and roll constantly with Luka Doncic, and the Minnesota Timberwolves can't switch it, right? Because they had a center on the center for the Mavericks. The Celtics put Jason Tatum on the centers of the Dallas Mavericks. So Jason Tatum, when Luka's looking to get Jaylen Brown off him, it's like, oh, here's Jason Tatum. Now you can try to go by Jason Tatum. It's basically trying to go by the same caliber of player. So nobody can make that argument. I would argue right now that Tatum has been the 3rd best player in the NBA right now, besides Jokic and SGA. And if you're asking me, like, in a playoff scenario, who would I rather have, SGA or Tatum? I'd rather have Tatum because of the versatility he provides defensively. Like, he can guard, like, basically any position. Jokic is just in his own planet, the stuff that guy does offensively. So I don't know how anybody could argue the team's better without Tatum.
The Ringers documentary, Bill Simmons, I've only seen 2 episodes.
So you saw Cousy Russell?
Cousy Russell, yes. And the last thing that I saw was they were questioning Bill Russell if he could be the coach.
After they won?
The player, and then they won. But I think it's great. I really do.
Yeah, I love the first episode of the Cousy one because, like, we all know about Cousy, but
I didn't know about the driving school for women. That one blew my mind.
I also found it funny that he, like, I know it's a different time, but he's, like, legitimately doing a commercial for cigarettes.
Yes,
like,
yeah.
This is what I smoke. It's like, it's just crazy to think about. But his highlights are crazy, right? Like, you remember J.J. Redick called, like, that era plumbers, which is just, like, totally disrespectful? Some of the passes Cousy would throw, it's like, whoa, this is crazy. And then who was it that, what was it, him and Frank Gifford, when Cousy's talking about he didn't realize he was hot. He's like, I didn't realize I was hot until I did that. But, yeah, that was fun. I thought the Cousy stuff was awesome.
So I'll never forget this, but I had a chance to, like, sit down with Sam Jones. This is probably a 08 because it was the year they won the championship. And so he walks in, and I'm just there. Don't ask me why I'm there. And Sam Jones sees Kevin Garnett and is floored. he's like, "Oh my God, it's Kevin Garnett. You're the best big man shooter I've ever seen in my life." And I'm sitting with Sam Jones, and you know about Sam Jones, right? Like, how much did you watch? And they asked Bill Russell, "Hey, game on the line, who takes the shot?" I don't even think it took him a second to say who it was. He said Sam Jones. Watching the documentary, how many big shots did Sam Jones hit in history? And I'm just going back to the time I met Sam Jones, and he was floored by Kevin Garnett. Yet, dude, you hit 8 game winners over a 10-year span, in the finals.
Yeah,
but we don't we just don't hype it like that. But I mean, it's just it's watching back on it. Havlicek stole the ball the way that he talked about it. He counted to 5,000 and just saw the ball, and Bill Russell takes credit for screwing up.
Yeah,
it was. So
I made
good.
you famous. Yeah,
that's a great line. I made you famous.
Yeah, Havlicek. The whole thing with Havlicek too, going into the 70s, it's interesting, right? Where it's he got his championship without Russell. He kind of needed that, sort of validation. But Havlicek's probably one of the most underrated players in the history of the league. Because I really, so you haven't got to the 70s one, but I really enjoy the 70s one because I almost feel like that's sort of not a lost era for a lot of Celtics fans, but for us, our age group. Obviously, we've all heard about Kuzi. We've all heard about Russell. The 80s is a sweet spot for everybody. Everybody's seen stuff on the 80s team. But, nobody really talks that much about the 70s teams, right? And
Dave
Cowens, yeah. Oh, wait till you get to, some of the Dave Cowens stuff you know about, but wait till you get to later episodes.
Were you talking to Simmons, or do you know anything about these guys? What they were doing? Is there anything they told you about before the documentary that, just the wives being a part of it and them sharing stories? Did you hear any stories while the documentary was being made about what could be coming out or what they found out?
No, the only thing I really found, some stuff, but I didn't know that Shaughnessy and Bob Ryan and who was the third one? Lee Montville.
Oh, Lee Montville. Yeah, I love Lee. Yeah.
They get together once a week.
Yeah.
To have a beer.
I did the Boston Bullpen Project with them this year. And there was it was Peter Gammons was the guest, and Sean McDonough was their guest.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So that was interesting. I knew that he was really happy they got Kuzi, obviously, and they got Walton, obviously, and unfortunately passed away.
Yeah.
So Walton's in the documentary. They haven't gotten to that. I've seen that episode, but it hasn't been released yet. The 4th episode was awesome too, because Robert Parrish and McHale are unbelievable. And, not to spoil it, but, for anybody that hasn't seen it, the end of the 4th episode, and I'm sure a lot of Celtics fans have seen it by now, the Bill Fitch stuff is so interesting. The dynamic between Bird and the rest of the team as it pertains to, what they thought about Bill Fitch. It's kind of crazy. Bird in the documentary still seems pissed.
Bird? It's funny. Max still seems pissed about Bird. It's you know what it is? I think it's a Celtics legacy thing, and we got to go to break. But what I mean by it is Kuzi was the man, but Russell didn't feel good enough. Then Russell was the man, but then we don't talk about Havlicek enough, right? And then Dave Cowens was a Hall of Famer. And then the 70s, they had to suck because they got Bird, right? And then all of a sudden they had the Len Bias stuff. And then, the 80s, they're good again, but Larry Bird wasn't good enough, but Max won the MVP, right? And then it's it was always something. Just like Jason Tatum's the best player, but then it's Jaylen Brown who's the guy, right? It's been going on for 75 years.
It is crazy how there's so many different interesting eras. And Marcus Smart, he was the best player, right?
Oh, yeah. They had to get him out of there.
Yeah.
One more. We got another segment in you?
Yeah, for sure.
I want to do some digs.
Oh, nice.
So we'll get our final headline of the night. I should mention that John Calipari, 12-3 in the Sweet 16.
Dude, he is a good tournament coach. I mean, he had one of the worst games of all time when he didn't follow Mario Chalmers, but he is a really good tournament coach.
I'll give you the score right now in Sports Hub Headlines.
Sports Hub Headlines, presented by Celsius Energy Drinks.
All right, let's get that score out of the way first. The Calipari.
real vote of confidence for Drake.
Yeah, it's just trying to make sure that we're supporting Drake and supporting the football team. And again, this is a highly competitive, confident receiver that's produced throughout his career and multiple ways, play style, right? He's got a play strength to him, right? That you see that he can play physical, route craft, good at the catch point, has been good in the red zone, right? That there's a play style to him that I've always appreciated and that we want to, continue to enhance and make sure that, he's doing things to help us. But it's just his conversation, his demeanor, his attitude, and his presence have been, great through our conversations. And, hopefully we can continue to add good players.
All right, back here on 98.5 The Sports Hub. I'm Joe Murray, live from the Sylvan Street Grill. We're in Peabody, Mass. Thank you, sir. Hell of a job tonight, sir. So what's your name again? David. Shout out to David, the chef at Sylvan Street Grill. Oh, yeah, look at here. Round of applause. David, the chef tonight. Making sure we're all hungry and fed. Well, making sure we're fed, right? Not hungry. Real quick before we just heard Mike Vrabel talking about why they acquired Stephon Diggs, but the sequence that just happened in that Bulls-Lakers game was one of the best I've seen. That's a great getting giddy with it.
Wild. I hate seeing the Lakers lose too.
Oh,
it pains me.
It's so bad to see that. You know what I mean?
Is LeBron distracted? Stephen A. Smith. Dude, that thing is crazy.
So Skaz was saying earlier, he's turning now. Where's Stephen A. guys?
You're against him now?
No, not against him. This one I don't agree with him. I think he should take the L.
When he said the thing about I would have thrown hands, I'm like, what, dude? Like, why are you talking about that?
Okay, being
so
serious.
Weird.
Okay,
you see the video that LeBron posted?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Listen, I just want you to know that LeBron James is 6'8" and would kick my ass. I don't think he can fight. Like, he's a nice guy. He might flop and hurt me. You're right. He might. I'm not messing with 6'8" guys.
No.
I know he's LeBron.
Yeah.
But
I don't even know what prompted him to say that. Like, and then he was getting mad about saying, like, how LeBron posted that, like, today on First Take, he was saying how LeBron posted the whole video of him boxing. He's like, you think that's what I look like a decade later? It's like, dude, what are you talking? Like, let that go. Like, I don't know why you keep talking about, like, the boxing element of all this. It's just weird. The whole thing is weird, though. Like,
it's all weird.
You know who I felt bad for, though? Windhorse. Like, when has Windhorse ever claimed to be LeBron's best friend?
Never.
Literally never. Like, and then he said it's because LeBron's like, yeah, he said I wear 23 because of Michael Jordan. He's like, that's accurate. Like, that was the argument. Like,
it does.
Yeah, that's what LeBron said. He's like, and I do. And then he said I signed with Nike because of Michael Jordan. And then he's like, I signed there because they gave me $90 million. It's like, all right, well, yeah, that's because you went with the highest dollar amount. The same thing Michael Jordan did. Like, I don't know why he got so mad about Windhorse there. It was bizarre.
That's all. That's weird.
Yeah.
Stephon Diggs, member of the Patriots. I don't care about the money. Like, I don't even think in my opinion, I don't think it's a lot of money. Now, I think it's less than Calvin Ridley. I think it's less than Brandon Cooks got 2 years, 13. Like, why is everyone wrapped up in the money in this thing? I understand he's 31 off an ACL, but, like, I did this last night for an exercise. What Diggs did in 8 games versus the wide receivers in 17. He'd be second on the team in receptions, third in yards, and tied for first in touchdowns in 8 games versus their 17.
I had Mark Daniels on my pod earlier this week. This is like late last week. This is before this happened. He blew my mind with this stat. The last time the Patriots have had, and Stephon Diggs this year was averaging north of 60 yards per game, I think 62 to be exact. He was on pace for 1,000 yards. And he was the number 2 guy in Houston because they had Nico Collins. The last time the Patriots had a receiver that averaged more than 90 yards per game was Julian Edelman in 2019. 2019
with Brady, yeah.
Yeah, we're entering the 2025 season. That happened in 2019, Joe. Like, and to me, like you mentioned the money thing, they can easily get out of it, too. It's not like a long-term commitment. The other element to this is, when Drake May's fifth-year option kicks in, the year after Diggs' contract expires. So, look, I understand the issues, and I've brought this up, like the character stuff, right? Like, he doesn't want to play with Josh Allen. He wants to get out of Minnesota. But, like, he's never been a dog on the field. You know what I mean? Like, by that I mean giving up on plays. He's never done anything like that. Like, all the issues that he's had with his teammates come out of, like, from a competitive stuff. You know what I mean? Like, he gets upset, like, maybe I'm not getting the ball. Stuff along those lines. It's never like, he's just taking plays off. Like, that's been an issue for receivers before. Or, hey, he's not going to block on a running play or not run a route when he's not getting the ball. That's never been an issue for Stephon Diggs. And if you look at some of, like, the next-gen advanced stuff, so I won't go through it all, he's still near the top of the league and all that. And even if he's not coming back from this injury, if he's not 100% of what he was, well, 90% of Stephon Diggs is significantly better than anybody else the Patriots have. Like, what's the ceiling for any of the Patriots receivers? A number 3, right? Demario Douglas? I don't even know. Can Kayshon Boutte be a number 3? I like what he did at the end of the season. Polk did nothing. So the Patriots are in a desperate position. It was, in some sense, a desperate move, but it was a move that needed to be done. Like, what were your alternatives? Wait for the Ayuk thing? See if he becomes available?
I think it was Ryan Cowden. So I know that clip that we played coming back, it was a Vrabel move. But when I say Vrabel move, I think Cowden is getting deals done. Wolf's still doing the job. It's just they're now securing deals. I don't want to compare it to Breslow Theo. Like, I don't want to, but I'm going to. I'm going to say that although the people might be the same that are there are other people now getting deals to the finish line. Somewhat like a closer, a TO manager, something like that. I think Ryan Cowden, with the support of Mike Vrabel, got the deal done. Elliot Wolf got the deal done because of Ryan Cowden.
Yeah, and I'm totally fine with that. Like, and they've done this throughout the offseason where they overpay guys. Like, Milton Williams is gone. He was going to Carolina, and they're like, hold on. Wait, hold on. Pick up your phone again. We're actually going to give you even more money.
Do you see what I mean?
Yeah.
Before, they would have just let him walk.
Right.
Now there's another guy in there being like, all right, let's figure this out.
Right.
Which they needed.
Totally needed it. And the other thing I would say is McDaniels clearly is going to have a plan for him. And McDaniels, one thing he's really good at is targeting his number 1 receiver. And he's going to do that over and over again with Stephon. Like, think about Edelman, think about Jacoby Myers, think about when he had Devontae Adams there. He's going to target his number 1 guy over and over again. And I guess, what was the other option? At number 4, taking Travis Hunter and making him a receiver? But here's the thing. There's no guarantee that Hunter's there at 4. Like, what if we have a scenario where the 2 quarterbacks go 1 and 2? And I know there's all this stuff about the Browns and Carter, but let's say that's the hypothetical. And in the 3rd spot, the Giants, who drafted Thibodeau in the 1st round, traded for Burns, they take Hunter. Well, then you don't have your receiver at 4. So then, okay, are you taking one at the beginning of the 2nd round and then maybe trading back into the 1st round? And the receiving class, like, it's deep, but there's not that star. And so the Patriots are in a weird spot at 4 because last year you had the 3 quarterbacks go 1, 2, 3. Everybody knew that was going to happen. So the team that had the 4th pick, you had your choice of Marvin Harrison Jr., Malik Neighbors, if you needed a receiver, right? You could have taken Bowers if you wanted a tight end. Yep. And Joe Alt, who has, like, an actual wingspan and long arms, right? So, like, if you were 4 this year, it's totally different conversation. So I think you had to take care of that need in free agency like they did with Diggs.
Agree with you. The reason why I like Diggs the most is the way he has crushed the Patriots. Dude, so many games I've watched, I think he's an incredible route runner. And I think he's more of a Z than an X receiver. I'm using like a Deion Branch type. Like, I think he can. And in Josh McDaniels' offense, dude, I think he's going to be lights out. But dude, in the 6 games he played against the Patriots at Gillette Stadium, 40 catches, 500 yards, 7 touchdowns. It's pretty good. And he torched Christian Gonzalez last year. And remember the J.C. Jackson game? He scored 3 touchdowns on him.
Oh, and he was talking crap the whole game. Yeah, that's when, like, J.C. Jackson was, and J.C. Jackson was awesome that year, and then he got all that money from
and he bounced.
The Chargers. It's interesting too because, like, he's not old. he's just coming off an injury. He's like his 32-year-old season. I went through a bunch of guys like Marvin Harrison, the original Marvin Harrison, Isaac Bruce, all these guys, Larry Fitzgerald in their 32-year-old season, where all these guys are like 60 yards or better, like in their 32-year-old season. So as long as the knee is, and it's an ACL, like we've seen a bunch of guys come back from an ACL now. You know what I mean? Like it's not the same debilitating injury that it once was. And I'm not going to judge it by like off-season workout videos, but like Adam Schefter already reported like he thinks he's going to be back for week 1. Now, Kendrick Bourne basically tore his ACL at the same time. He wasn't back for week 1, but I'm not going to rule it out.
All right, dude. Well,